This is From the Garden to the Track podcast with your hosts Dylan and Sam.
Hi, friends. This is episode 7 of From the Garden to the Track podcast.
Is it really 7?
Yeah, 7. And we're doing things a little bit different. Typically, me and Sam kind of record our intro, just me and her. But this time we're joined with our good friends, Korey and Stacy Reichert. Hi, Korey. Hi, Stacy.
Hey, everybody.
We're going to start off by recapping this last weekend. It was our last pull, the 618 Mini Tractor Pullers pull. And I had a very good weekend. Sam wasn't able to join us because Sam was busy doing
A bake sale and a book sale.
And how'd that go?
Pretty good. We didn't make as much as I wanted, but that's okay.
You know what I think probably would have helped make you some good money at your bake sale, Sam?
What?
If you had invited Doug and Nathan.
Oh, for the cake.
Yeah.
Well, they should have showed up with their champion cake.
So anyway, over the weekend, we had our last pull. Of course, it being the last pull, I finally feel like I've figured some stuff out on some of ours. Huey had a really good pull on his tractor. I had a decent one. I'm still learning some stuff on the Allis. And it was just a good time. Really, just everyone seemed to be in real good spirits. Everyone worked real good together. It was a good time.
I want to know about Stacy's weekend is actually what I want to know about because I missed it.
You did miss it. So somebody actually finally got me on a tractor. And I pulled, and my second time I pulled very, very, very well and won the wonderful championship belt here, the
Who you bring it with you everywhere
yes,
we go.
It is here with us now. It's in the room with us now.
It ate at the Mexican restaurant with us right there. In fact,
got its own margarita.
I've had to call you champ every day this week.
Yes.
It's been awful.
It is. So, I don't know. It was a very, very good run. It was, I don't know, but it was exhilarating, I will have to say. Hate to admit that to Korey, but here I am.
I heard you were all smiles.
Yes. I think my grin got bigger and bigger the farther and farther I went.
That is a fact.
So.
We'll go into a little more detail with that a little later. But really glad to have Stacy and Korey and the championship belt joining us this evening.
Dylan got to run Mike Haswinkle's tractor.
Yes, I got to run Mike's tractor, his 50 cube, and that was I've done a lot of things. I've derbied, I've raced 4-wheelers, and I've done a lot of been fast in cars, and nothing compares to that. That much power and dragging a sled was quite amazing. We had a little bit of trouble though. He had a malfunction with his carb hose clamp, and the carb fell off half track. And really, the best way I could describe my trip down the track on his tractor was much like a kid eating ice cream. I was given a ice cream cone with 2 wonderful scoops of ice cream, and took my first lick of it and thought, my goodness, that's some good ice cream. And then I got going, I was like, damn, that's some pretty good ice cream. And then shortly after that, I dropped my ice cream. And carb fell off, and that was all there was to it. But it was...
you had really just got hooked up and going when that happened, man. That was
about the time I decided that I was happy, and here we go, we're on a ride. It kind of went to crap.
Yeah, she kind of just smoothed out and wound out. That was
Oh, it was a blast. I hope I get to do it again. But it definitely was comparable to dropping your freaking ice cream cone. Sam is going to be going to a Renaissance fair this weekend. Sam, you tell a little bit about that?
I think that's it. I'm going to a Renaissance fair this weekend.
And what can you expect there? Are you going to joust?
I'm not going to joust.
Are you going to eat a big turkey leg?
I hope so.
With beer.
With beer.
And bosoms.
And bosoms, yes.
So anyway, as we've already kind of somewhat introduced, we're joined with our good friends Korey and Stacy, and we'll just do a little bit of background with them, and we'll just kind of get into our questions with them. First question is, Korey, what do you do for a living?
I'm on year, I guess, 24, 25 in law enforcement.
Okay.
Stacy?
I work in HR for the Veterans Affairs, and I am in year 26 with the federal government.
Oh my. What led you guys to those careers?
Well, mine's a funny story. I was just typical kid. Had a kind of little lowrider truck and seemed to always get pulled over by the police. And I had a kind of a negative experience with the police in Paducah. And I worked at a little restaurant in Karnak where I grew up. And one of the ladies that worked there was dating the new city police officer. And I was telling him what happened, and he kind of gave me his perspective of it, which was, of course, different from a versus a 16-year-old's perspective. And he invited me to do a ride along, and I did one Friday night after work. And I don't know, man. Ever since then, I want to be in law enforcement, and I've done it in the military and for a county and federally for a long time. And I guess just kind of what I was supposed to do.
Well, that's really cool. I mean, good grief, we've been friends a few years, and I didn't even know that. I didn't know that you were into lowrider trucks. What kind of lowrider truck did you have? Was it?
I had a 91 Chevy S10, and it had airbags. It had the whole 9 yards.
Oh, yeah.
And had 4 15-inch subwoofers, and I car showed. I ran with a club out of Anna, Illinois called Permanently Grounded.
Okay.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun. We, just kind of doing the thing.
See, and that's something that I've liked about doing this podcast here is I've been buddies with them for a few years, and I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Dylan loves trucks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Stacy, what led you to your career with the VA?
Well, they always say HR is hiring and firing, but I just went back and got my degree in 2017, and I am actually in work-life benefits, so we deal with any benefits with the VA, insurance, life insurance, child care subsidies, anything like that, leave. So I just, we get questions all the time about what we can do to help people and overcome situations, and that's just what I always enjoyed, so.
My mom worked in HR.
Yeah. So the firing part I wouldn't care about.
Yeah. Tell us how you guys met.
Wow, there's 2 versions of that story. That'd be a whole podcast in itself, but
And mine is the truth.
Did Stacy just knock you in the head and drag you back to the cave?
I mean, that's one version of it, but no, actually, so I was a military police officer in the Air Force. She was in the Air Force. She lived off base, and the short version is I saw her come through the gate one day and thought, man, that's the girl right there. And then I got deployed to Korea for a little while. And I came back, and a girl she worked with and a guy I worked with were actually dating, and they kept talking about to each of us, like, you got to meet my friend, you got to meet my friend. And I'm not going to lie, I might have gotten a little trouble at work, and my choice was pick up trash for a day or be the dare line. You remember the whole don't do drugs, kids, dare line?
Yeah.
So I had to wear that stupid costume around at this festival. And it was like 180 degrees because it was Okinawa, Japan. It was a tropical island, and I was sweating. And my friend Ray called me and was like, "Hey, we're here with Stacy." And I come around the corner, and I saw her, and I was like, "Man, that's the girl! Like, that's the girl!" And now, what she won't admit is I took that lion head off, and she's like, "Oh, that's the guy right there." You know, but,
Yes, sweaty.
Yeah, but yeah, no, we actually didn't realize it at first, but yeah, it was awful. It was awful. Little kids were hitting me, you know, punching me and stuff, pulling my tail. It was awful.
And she was like, "Oh yeah, that's it. That's it.
Looks like a wet rat, but that's it."
But yeah, that's it. And we've been together 23 years now. So
yeah. Oh my goodness, 23 years.
I mean, if you heard in the last episode how me and Sam got together, she used to go grab my rods.
Yeah.
You know,
Dang, Sam.
she was a welder helper.
Yeah.
The thing is, I would come to work looking just like him.
So, Stacy, what's your take on how?
Oh no.
Well, I do remember seeing him coming through the gate, and I thought, wow, you know, he's really nice looking, but he's a man and he's younger, and I just, you know, I don't have time for that right now. So I drove off and dismissed it, and sure enough, my friend finally was like, "You really need to meet him. He's so nice." And so yeah, I turned around.
I mean, at that point, that's just. What's meant to be is what's meant to be.
So he pulled that dare line off and looked like that brown rat. And I was like, but look at those eyes.
Oh.
You know, so we, that night went and, me and Okinawa went down to the beach and we're talking. And he says, "I don't talk a whole lot." Yeah, right. He never shuts up.
Yeah. Korey, when I think of you, I think of modest and quiet.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. That's Korey.
I'm a lot sometimes, I admit it.
Social butterfly.
But I just can't imagine you on a date being like, "Oh, I'm just kind of quiet."
Yeah, I couldn't get a word in edgewise. I was like, "Oh, yeah," and my, okay.
You just get, when you're excited, you just get talking.
I talk fast when I get excited.
Yeah. Well, it worked, obviously.
It did
Here we
work.
are.
Here we are, 23 years later.
So not that we really need it with you guys, but I like coming up with some silly icebreaker questions, just to get some laughs and everything. Korey, what brand of cordless tools do you have?
Ryobi.
The green one?
Yeah, it's one.
Well, in my defense, we lived in Texas, and that's all. We only had Home Depot as a store, so I kind of had to go with it. So.
Yeah, one Nikki.
What is something you can say about tractors, but not your significant other?
Oh, I know.
Stacy, go first.
Expensive.
Oh. All right.
Makes a whining noise.
Man, I really don't know other than I kind of got a love-hate relationship with mine. So, you know, at least Stacy always loves me. The tractors don't always. So.
That's right. Stacy, Reese's or Twix?
Ooh, Reese's.
Korey?
All the way.
Man, I'm a Twix guy. I like Twix.
Okay. Stacy, who do you think could juggle better, Jaron Hill or Josh Aiden?
Oh, my goodness.
What are we juggling?
Yeah.
Just bowling
life
pins.
or inanimate objects?
Bowling pins?
Bowling pins, balls. Well,
you know, I love you, Jaron, but I think Josh Aiden might have a leg up on you. Jaron is a little clumsy, I've noticed.
what about you, Korey? Who do you think could juggle better, Josh or Josh or Jaron?
Man. I'm sorry. I think I have to go with Josh on this one too.
You don't think the coon fingers might have something?
Well, you know, I think they'd be too busy.
Yeah.
That's the reason I gave him that name.
Korey.
Do you wear cheetah print underwear the day of the poll for good luck?
Oh, wow, Dylan, you know about that. Yeah, I do have a pair, and I have been quite victorious today, so I've worn them. So,
Stacy, who would you pick to announce in your place?
Well, I had somebody announce for me last weekend, and she did a phenomenal job. So I would say Kyler Bracken. She is very good at it, and like I said, she took over for me, and I was allowed to walk around. I saw vantage points from the pool that I've never been able to see before because I'm always stuck up at the announcer's booth.
I'm glad you got a break.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it was nice, and so she
did a great
wonderful
job. She really did.
Yeah,
Yes, she
Good.
did.
And that's good to know for next year, so you don't have to do it every single time.
yeah,
And she seemed to really enjoy it, too.
yeah. She
Well, it'd
did
be
let
good,
me have
too.
my seat back.
Well, it's good. It's good too if, in case Stacy couldn't be there, we know we've
Yeah.
got somebody that can. So,
Or
and
Stacey
you know,
can
and-
now make plans on a Saturday if she
Yeah,
wants
right.
to.
well, yeah, and you know, and when we work with the stubborn mule and Jen comes, she's amazing at it too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you know, I always feel
Yes.
better when she's there because I'm like, man, if Stacy, you know, didn't feel good or something, then at least there's somebody to take care of it. That's just one less thing we got to worry about. So.
Well, and it's kind of like what I've talked about in some previous podcasts. You know, there's things all of us as board members, not that Kyler's necessarily a board member, but there's stuff we all can do better and help take the load off of each other. And I think we're still trying to figure each other out and figure out what jobs we're good at still at the same time. So like Kyler can take that load off of Stacy now, and we understand that.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, we're still learning and growing. Some our second year, and
Oh yeah.
we got some big things for next year. And you're absolutely right about that.
What is the name of your guys' boat?
Oh, the name of the boat. So,
See, I don't know if this is a funny or not. I just simply couldn't remember, and I thought it'd be a funny question.
well, the boat's name is Shenanigans, and it's spelled like nautical, like Nauti. So yeah,
You could take that one of two ways.
yeah.
All right.
All right, tell us about your tractors. What are your tractors' names?
Okay, so currently got 4, and I guess I'll start with my 12 horse. It's a little green narrow frame. It's called Bombs Away. That's the first tractor I built since I kind of got back into this, which I'll get into in a minute. But I built it myself and painted it myself and everything. It was originally a 16 horse. Had an issue a year or two ago dealing with it. Bent the frame down at Smithland. Just a weak point in the weld or something. I don't know. Ended up with another frame. You fixed it up good for me. Ended up putting a 12 horse in it and just kind of had it for some kids to pull and things like that. Story behind the name is my grandpa was in World War II. He was a B-24 gunner. I was in the Air Force too. I've always loved World War II. You know, planes, pinup girls, just that era. I always thought it was really cool. And, you know, obviously being a military veteran, I'm a big supporter of that. And I kind of wanted something to kind of honor that. So, you know, him being a bomber crew member, actually Stacy, a few years ago for my birthday, bought me a flight on one of the last 2 flying B-24s. And I actually got to sit in the seat my grandpa did. And it was,
Oh, really?
man, it was like probably the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. And, you know, it was well worth the money. I don't know what she spent on it, probably a lot, but it was really worth it. And, I just decided to call it that. You know, they always say bombs away before they let the bombs go. And, I just thought it was kind of cool because it's, you know, like kind of like Send It, you know, in a way. And, found a little cool pinup girl for it. And, I don't know, just kind of made it that way. So that's that tractor. My black and purple one, that one's name is Misspent. I bought that tractor from a guy in Kentucky. That tractor's been around a long time. It was an old NQS runner. I know some of the history on it. It was originally called Instigator. It was like a Ferrari orange. It was a cool little tractor. I bought it from a little boy. Put a motor in it, did everything. When he decided to get out of pulling, I kind of took it over. And I don't know, at the end of the last year, it had a lot of years on it, and it didn't look very good anymore. And I decided to do something different. I'm a big individualist when it comes to tractors. I mean, I respect the guys.
I loved the green seat on the Instigator.
Yeah, and it was cool, man. It was old school, like kind of hot rod seat and everything. And but I'm one of them. I got to make them my own, and so I decided to redo it this winter. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of had a secret plan. Stacy's favorite color is purple. I threw some purple at it, thinking she might get a little addicted to it. She didn't. So I was stuck with a rainbow. It's a black, but it's
got like a rainbow clear coat.
Yeah, it's like a rainbow color shift. It's really cool. It's got a lot of purple, gold. You just got to look at it in the light. Anyway, it's a really pretty tractor. It's turned a lot of heads and got a lot of compliments on it. And it's kind of become my favorite as far as looks. Man, as far as the name Misspent, I was just trying to think. Like I said, it used to be called Instigator, which I love the name, but again, I kind of want to make it my own. And I was trying to think of something with dollar signs because I've got so much money in that tractor because it's changed motors and stuff so many times. And I don't know, the word Misspent come up one day, and I thought, man, I'll change the S's to dollar signs, and that's where we go. Go ahead.
Tell about the twin next. Save the Allis for last.
Yeah, I was going to save the Allis for last because that one's kind of personal to you and I both. So my V-twin, that one's called the 400 unit. It's a little gray narrow frame. I bought it out of Missouri for my son to try. Again, once he quit, kind of made it my own. He had called it Shark Attack originally. When I redid it this last winter, I called it the 400 unit. You notice everything on it's bright green. Bright green's the color for mental health awareness. Mm-hmm. Being a Air Force combat veteran, it's a story of my life I'm not ashamed to say or talk about. But I've suffered from PTSD from the military, so I'm a big supporter of like Till Valhalla Project, mental health awareness, things like that. So the 400 unit, it's an odd name. I get it. A lot of people ask me about it. But my favorite musician is Jason Isbell. His band's called the 400 unit. They're from Muscle Shoals, Alabama. And the mental health institution in Muscle Shoals is called the 400 unit. So just kind of always liked the name. It always popped at me. And I thought, man, it just goes hand in hand. And you've probably seen an awareness sticker on the front of it. And so I don't know. That's kind of the story with it. Just something different, kind of spark a conversation with people.
So I love that the names tie into stuff that's important to you. Yeah. And I think that's why I've had such a hard time naming my Allis is because I built it because of my grandparents.
Right.
I've spoke about that, and you guys know my grandparents had Alice B, and they called it Mary Jane. And I just
got an idea.
Well, we're going to have to hear it. But I've had trouble naming it. Like, every time I go up to sign up and Stacy's asking me what name, it's just Allis.
Well, you keep breaking it, we're going to call it Mary Jane's Last Dance.
Yeah. Well, I think I've got the breaking it figured out.
Yeah, you did.
But, I like them to have meeting myself, something behind them. It's like Huey's tractor. We call it Little Man, which it was kind of funny. The fellow we bought it from, his grandpa built it for him, and his grandpa called him Little Man, and we kind of refer to Huey as Little Man.
Right,
so
right.
we just left
it. Yeah,
we just kept it.
And he likes it.
Yes. Oh, goodness, yes. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we'll ask Stacy, are you going to rename Misspent, or are you going to roll with that name?
No, I'm going to roll with that name. So, that's Missy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I'll be driving Missy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we get to the Allis, and I gotta say this Allis we're going to talk about means a lot to me as well as Korey. I myself put a lot of love into this, and I'm going to let Korey just tell about its history and kind of leading up to whenever I got it.
Yeah, so I guess I'll kind of tie that into how I got into pulling, but somewhere around 8 to 10 years old, I don't remember exactly, but a guy named Anthony George, his family owned the Allis Chalmers dealership in Grand Chain, very good friends.
Was that Hales?
Yes, it was Hales Implement. Yep.
So funny thing is, I'm gonna interrupt you. But funny thing is I'm building a Dukes Allis for David Duty right now in the shop. That came from Hales.
That's cool.
Came from Hales as well. It's still got the Hales sticker on the back of it.
Cool.
And I've got a thermometer here in the shop.
Yeah, I was just about to say I got him a thermometer that came from the Allis Grand Chain.
That's very cool.
And I found it. I got it in Cape at an antique store.
Wow, that's really
She came home so excited about it, and I was extremely excited because I knew that's where your Allis came from, and then David's tractor come from.
Well, I was with my sister and my cousin, and they thought I was I didn't drop an F-bomb here. They thought I was messing with them. And cause we were like about to leave this antique store and I turned around and I got so excited. I was like, oh my God, look at this
That's super
thermometer.
cool, yeah.
And they were like waiting for me to like, they thought I was messing with them real big. And I was like,
I'm buying this.
Allis Towers thermometer. And
I have to have it, yeah.
they were like, okay.
Sure, yeah.
And they're like, wait, you're really buying that? And I was like, I have to buy this for Dylan.
That is
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the cool part for me was she was excited because it was an AC thermometer. And
Well, I
was like,
saw it was from Grand Chain.
Yeah.
Well, we're both Allis Chalmers guys. I mean, I love internationals, of course, but
yeah, shout out to Timmy Strickland. I just lost out on his sheet metal.
Oh man, was that not a? Oh, I was so disgusted this morning. I saw it sold. I was like, Timmy, man, I wish he'd just bought that in a heartbeat.
I had him call me yesterday.
Oh,
and
it
I
was
missed out
perfect.
on it.
It was perfect. Oh man, that one hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
And Timmy's tractor, man, that's a beautiful thing.
Oh, yes, it is.
And he's such a good dude, you know.
Yep.
I'm always happy when he comes down and runs. But yeah, so Anthony, I believe Anthony, that's about the time he moved to Texas or something was going on and he was kind of cleaning up and, he gave it to me. And, something I had never done before. And my dad used to pull, big tractors and I guess back before Hot Farm was Hot Farm, that's kind of what they did, whatever. And, so he got the tractor and, Dad was pretty handy with small engines and, he got it running good and, we pulled and, that's one of the things I always remember and I'm sure you're probably going to ask that later, but, just the old weigh in at the scales down there and then go over to just the whole competition. It's an event and you're in it. I just always kind of remember that as a kid. And, so I pulled it for several years. I don't know that we ever won or did any good. There was a lot better tractors out there. I mean, man, I had to pull against my buddy Forrest Nixon and,
really?
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me and Forrest were like best friends in high school. He's one of my real good friends and, I got a lot of great memories going to see Tommy pull Screaming Demon. And,
me too.
Forrest was always, he was kind of the king a little bit, stuff. And, there were some really good tractors. And, I pulled it for a few years and then, I got to doing kind of typical teenage things. And then, my brother took it over and, he pulled it. And then, right after high school, I left for the military and, I was out of it for 20 years. I didn't have anything to do with tractor pulling. I mean, I lived all over.
How would you?
Yeah, I mean, we literally lived all over the world, all over the country. We were never anywhere very long enough to get into something like that. And, I transferred to Mississippi in 2015, Stacy? Mm-hmm. Something like that. And, you'll appreciate this just, because of recent, events, but, I was working in Corinth, Mississippi one day. Mm-hmm. And I come around the corner and I saw a sign that said garden tractor pulls this weekend. And I was like, well, that's kind of cool. I'm like, man, I ain't seen that since I was a kid, And I drove down to the track and I met Larry Nelms, who just unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop you there too, Korey. Actually, Larry was supposed to be our second guest here on the podcast.
Oh, man.
His buddy James had got a hold of us and we've been trying ever since then to try to get him on, and he just hasn't felt good. And it kind of breaks my heart because I've heard nothing but good things about him from you and just different people. So our hearts go out to him and his family right now for that. A lot of people listening kind of know of him, and I'm kind of sad I didn't get to meet him and have a conversation with him because I've heard so many good things about him.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he was part of the Crossroads pullers down there, and I think he ran with the Syrup City guys, and I've met a lot of those guys through some things, and they all seem like real good people. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I started talking to him about it. I was just curious. I was like, man, what's going on with this? And he started telling me about it, and man, my eyes got real big because I'm like, man, this has changed a lot in all these years, And so Larry was like, yeah, well, you should get back into it. And we pull here, we pull over in Alabama, we pull down to southern Mississippi. And so I think I got a set of rules from him or something and was kind of thinking about it. And it was just crazy. It was either that night or that weekend, but it was like really close in time from me talking to him. My dad called me. And my dad was cleaning up fence row in the barn at the house, and he's like, "What are you going to do with this old pulling tractor of yours?" He's like, "I'm fixing to get rid of it." He goes, "I'm either going to scrap it, or I got a guy that wants to take it and make it like a, just pull a trailer around the yard thing with it or whatever." And I said, "Man, it's funny you say that. I just talked to these guys. They do that down here." Well, I had 2 kids, and I thought, well, maybe I'll get back into this. I had no idea what I was getting into. But so as it worked out, I got the tractor back, and that winter I restored it actually all completely original. I went back with the yellow paint. It was a B110, all completely original, all original stickers, everything. Had a good little motor for it.
Was it a Kohler whenever it was still a stock Allis, or was it a Briggs?
It was a Briggs, but when I had it, it had a Kohler in it, and then I built a Kohler for it, so we kind of got it back to where it was. Like I said, new paint, new everything. And then coming up on that spring, I was excited to get back into it. My kids were kind of excited, and that's when COVID hit. So they shut it down for the year. We didn't get to pull it. And then I think that fall is when I got transferred back up here with my job. So the tractor sat in storage for about a year. It's never been down the track. It's never done anything. I got up here, started researching it, and I found Area 51. I found Egypt Mills, and I found Sugar Creek over in Kentucky. So I was like, man, there's places to do it around here. There's a couple places down in Tennessee. So I was prepared to do that. Spring turns around, we go down there and we load it up and we take it down there, and boy, do we have some things to learn. Stuff had changed a lot in 20 years. Like I said, good running motor, good looking tractor, but man, it was an old belt drive, and I was trying to relearn that, and I'm looking at all these Cubs, and we struggled that year. We struggled really hard. We tried a lot of things. I had to make a lot of parts myself. Come up with things. I probably spent way more money trying to make it work than I would have ever just
buying.
Doing something different. But I wanted to do it myself because it was my tractor. It was my tractor as a kid, and
then that's when you decided to get bombs and instigator.
So that winter, I bought the tractor that is now Bombs Away, and I bought what was Instigator. We built them that winter. We had something to pull, and I kind of shelved the Allis, and I had a lot of different directions with it, man. I thought about just finding some implements and using it around the house.
Yeah.
I thought about using it as a tow tractor. I thought about just show tractor. I mean, there's all these different things you can do with it. Yeah. And I don't think any of them are right or wrong, but I still always wanted to be a puller. And I wanted it to be mine, So I noticed going to a lot of different states and a lot of different pools, there was a lot of Allis sheet metal tractors out there on Cub frames with Cub transmissions, and that seemed to be the direction you go. But I know this is a discussion you and I have had many times, and leading up to the main part of the story, just wasn't happy with the way they looked. And I'm not knocking anybody's tractor, but I wanted it, if I was going to rebuild it, I wanted it to look like it came that way from the factory.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of them looked like they just made stuff fit. And again, not knocking the tractors, but it's just kind of where I was with it. So, I know you were kind of getting started too, and we worked out a deal, and I said, man, this is what I want. And I think the greatest part about that build was I gave you my idea. You saw it, but I gave you the freedom to do what you wanted to with it, kind of.
Yeah, when he dropped it off, he pretty well told me build it like it was yours, and I really put a lot of love and heart into it. I certainly built it like it was my tractor.
Absolutely. And I can't even begin to thank you and Clayton and Brooklyn and your dad. I mean, everybody that had their hands on it at one point. But, just imagine, just thinking back to the amount of hours you and I just sat in the chair and looked at it and thought.
See, and that's something a lot of people don't get from my perspective is like they'll walk into the shop and they'll see something that ain't really been worked on necessarily. Like there's no progress to be shown. Mm-hmm. But I can't tell you the amount of times I've built it in my head or done this in my head or measured this or thought about that so that whenever I go to do it, it all comes together. And I mean, you probably seen that, you know.
Yeah,
it sat in the shop in the same condition for
I'm
quite a while.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then,
not gonna lie to you. I came by the shop and I'm like, man, he ain't done nothing with that yet.
and then out of nowhere, it was done.
And then the next thing I know, you send
Dude,
me
you gotta trust
pictures
the
and
process. You gotta trust the process.
absolutely. And that was one of the cool things. I think we only disagreed on one thing, and that was the rear fenders.
Yes, and I was proven wrong. I told him he needed to put like a 1066 style fender on it, and you ended up getting them off of a case garden tractor.
Yeah, that body style has that kind of square, real edgy look to it, and I've always loved those case fenders. I don't know why. It's just something I like. You know, it's like, why do people like narrow frame versus round versus whatever? And the fenders, unfortunately, on the Allis they're just unusable for that.
Yes,
project.
they were ugly.
There's nothing we can do with it. So we had to do something. We discussed building some, and I kept telling you, I was like, man, I really like these case fenders. And you're like, they're going to be horrible. So I looked forever, and I finally found a pair. But the guy had 3. And it was a strange deal. He made me buy all 3. He wouldn't sell me just 2.
I remember
that deal. Yeah, and I still got one in the shop. So I guess if we ever been one on the right side, we're good. But
you won't. You'll be on the left
side.
Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly my luck. Yeah. So I bought them and I brought them to you, and I think your dad put them on actually.
Yeah, I think so.
One day, and you called me. You're like, stop by the shop, and I came by, and you're like, all right. He was right on the fenders.
Oh, absolutely.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Yes, I love it, you know, so, but
you were absolutely right. I will forever say that you were right on this one thing.
But it was a fun build because you know what, man, we didn't disagree on anything, and you had a lot of good ideas. There was a lot of first times, and if you get up close and personal to the tractor, it looks like it belongs there. That's what I wanted. I didn't want it to look like it was just stuck on a Cub frame, and so anyway, we got it done, and you got it back to me, and I did what I had to do, and I dropped it off at a powder coater, and he had given me a time frame on it. We ran a little longer on it. It is what it is. I wasn't mad about it. I was preparing for the next year anyway, and we were getting ready to pull in Lebanon, Missouri. Jaron was at the house. He was riding out there with me with his tractors, and we were literally going to get fuel. And my powder coater called and said, hey, bro, it's done. And me and Jaron looked at each other, and he said, if we try it, we can have it ready. And we got this idea, and we said, let's surprise Dylan. Let's, have it done. And not going to lie, I showed up. The guy did an amazing job on it, but some of the colors were reverse of what I had asked him to do.
Which worked out amazing.
And we got it together, and it was great. So me and Jaron got it home, and we started about 2 p.m. Of course, the motor and the transmission, everything was done. It just needed put together.
Right.
But, man, it was things like, powder coat got here, and we had to sand it off to get the wheels to fit. Or just, it was one thing after another. And I think we laid the last sticker about 2:30 that morning. Didn't even have the tractor running. I hit the button and it turned over, and I said, good enough. And we shoved it in the trailer. We strapped it down. We didn't tell anybody.
Myself included.
Yeah, we didn't even tell you, man. And we showed up to Lebanon, and I think I come and got you and Clayton and was like, hey, my trailer's messed up. Come look at it or something. And
yeah, I think you told us you needed a jump or some shit.
And you figured it out because you were walking up the trailer, and I think you told me, you said, if there's an Allis in there, I'm going to kick your butt. And we dropped the tailgate on that thing, and man, the smile on your face was huge because you got to see it finally come to life, and it ended up being prettier than expected. And
I'm not gonna lie either on that. I had tears in my eyes. I was so proud of it. Yeah. And then just the fact that they surprised me with it was really cool.
Yeah, we wanted you to see it in person the first time, and man, we got it out, we got it running, and then it didn't run very well the first night. That's as expected, and we got it lined out over the night and into the morning, and we ended up doing very well the second day. I think we got second on it. We put it in the sand pile.
I think you beat Mike.
Of course, my old buddy Mike Haswinkle beat me by an inch.
That was only because he drove it into the sand a little bit further.
Yeah. Well, and
I think his weight bar might have been just a little shorter.
Yeah,
or something.
First time for that frame bar. But anyway, so we turned around and I had actually had the tractors reversed in the class, and Stacy was helping Jen Perry announce, and I told her, I said, switch them out, man. The Allis just ran so good. I want to run it again. And I'll be honest, man, I've been on a bunch of tractors, and I don't know what it is about that one, but I just love the layout on it. It's very comfortable, and it's very stable. It's very comfortable. And I got about, I don't know, 12, 15 foot off the track, and I was leaning back and looking down the track, and I saw somebody run out and flag me, and I was like, what is going on? And it was completely on fire.
Yeah.
And, again, 2:30 in the morning finishing up, and fuel line was leaking, ran down on the points and caught it on fire. And fortunately, it didn't do any damage. Everything that was a little damaged was inside. You can't really see it. And I think I cleaned fire extinguisher dust off of it for a month, man. But yeah, I turned around, it was a ball of fire, and my heart sunk because I'm like, I just put all this time in, and it's gonna burn up right here on the track. So
my perspective on that same thing was I was watching from the sidelines, and I seen it go up, and I run out there. And I got down, and I was just like, no, my baby! And all I was doing was blowing on it.
Yeah,
I couldn't even think clearly. I was just blowing.
And finally, what's the funny part is it came to light to me later. There was 4 firefighters standing there, and I'm like,
Yeah, and Dylan was blowing on it.
And I think it was Chris Monsees came over and finally put it out. And I'm like, there's 4 professional firemen standing here, and nobody put it out. And I'm like,
I could keep my cool with a lot of things, but I panicked on that. I just run out. I was like, oh no, my baby! And I started blowing on it. And
luckily, the one thing I thought of was shut the fuel off, and I got the fuel done. And I think that I don't know, man, but it was a scary moment. I've never seen Jerry Hill run so fast either.
Yeah,
I saw Jaron go, and I looked up, and I was like, oh my god! I said, is Korey's tractor on fire? I was up in the announcer's booth with Jen, and she goes, yeah. And I'm screaming like I'm screaming in the microphone.
It wasn't a little fire. It was like 4-foot flame.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was burning. It was burning that 110 hot, man.
Oh, Lord have mercy. We have a fire.
So anyway, I had to tear it back down that winter and clean it up and fix some things and got it going, and I've been running it this year. It's did okay. It's got some things.
You've had some hiccups, but whenever it's done good, it's done really good.
Yeah, my 216s, well, I say mine, but mine and now Stacy's 16s, they've been back and forth all year. They both have their good days, but yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, and in the name, I mean, the word malice by dictionaries, kind of ornery, pick a fight, that thing. I decided to spell it like Alice Chalmers just to be a little different. And so Alice is its name, and, that's what we got. So, but as far as that, I mean, that's the tractors we have. Stacy and I got something up our sleeve for 2026. We're taking we're going to switch the twin over to a new chassis, to a spread frame, and we've got a idea in our head that we've both liked. We're going to do. Hopefully, I'm going to get her on that V twin.
Oh boy!
Yeah, I just like to build them, and I like to see them run. Man, I'm not really that much into driving them.
That's kind of how I am. Yeah. I really
I enjoy it, but I'd rather see somebody else
do it. Over the weekend, I pulled my tractor. And I had a good time. I was pretty happy.
And your tractor, yours is beautiful, man. I mean, it's we reverse colored them.
Yeah.
So when they sit beside each other, we got some good pictures.
I think that's Dylan's favorite picture.
Yes.
I love them together, man. And I, and what's crazy is as much as he loves my tractor, I love his. And, you talk about those. You talk about those builds, though. What I was saying, and again, I'm not trying to put down anybody's tractor, but you really see the craftsmanship with some of them. I mean, Mickey Brown's tractor, for example. Yes. I mean, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful tractor. I know of a couple more that have. Steve Irvin's got a really nice one. I know of one that's sitting in your shop that's going to be a beautiful tractor. I just really think that's cool. Again, I'm mad I missed Timmy Strickland's deal, man.
Yeah, me too.
I'd have drove up there and got it today, but I hate myself for that one.
I was a few minutes short of that one.
Yeah. And that's a beautiful tractor. And then you went up to, what was it, Wisconsin? or
Michigan.
Michigan, yeah.
Yep.
And how many Alice Chalmers were up there? And they were well done tractors.
Yeah, there were
really nice.
several up there.
So anyway, I think that's kind of cool when people really take them and make them look like that. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, back to what you were saying about watching other people pull, I'm the same way. I had a freaking blast running Mike's tractor. I enjoyed pulling mine. You know, there's always stuff I feel like I can
And Mike
improve.
probably had more fun watching you do it than running it himself.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
After all that time and money he spent on it, you know.
And that's how I am. I had the biggest smile ever whenever I was watching Huey pull his this weekend.
That's like me watching Huey pull mine.
Yeah. I enjoy watching Sam pull hers too. It's just, you know, I enjoy putting the work into stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing him perform, and then, you know, Huey learning things every time he goes down the track. That's rewarding to me in itself. And then Sam too, you know, when she does good, you know, I put the work in her tractor and helped her set it up.
Sam, I remember your first pull. I was helping Dylan and I locked the shifter in for you, and your legs were shaking so bad.
It was awkward. Social anxiety.
Well,
like I met you the first time, you're reaching between my legs.
Yeah, I know. It was like all awkward. And I'm like,
I don't know what's happening.
That was the whole thing, man. I was like, you were shaking. Like I literally I reached between your legs to lock it in. And your thigh was like against my leg, and you were shaking like you were scared to death, and it was hilarious.
It was because everyone was looking at you. Everyone's looking at you, and I get social anxiety that way.
And that's what's taking me so long to get Stacy on a tractor is, you know, she's been like, well, everybody's going to watch. And I'm like, just do it. I said, I think what you'll find out is
no one cares.
No one cares, and more people are going to be supportive of you, and they will laugh at you.
Yes.
And I think she saw that this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yep.
Well, that's like why we like pushed my tractor back, because I had such I'm like, oh my God, I'm taking too long to back my tractor, and everyone's
hit the sled or something.
Everyone's mad that I'm taking too long. Like that's what's going through my head the whole time.
Yeah. So what Sam's talking about is we'll fire her tractor up off to the side, and we'll pull it up there, and we'll just push it back, hook it up to the sled, get her a tight chain, and she'll put it in gear and go. And that's just what we found that's worked for us. It's made her more comfortable. So Korey, you mentioned earlier about Forrest. I'm going to circle back around to that. So Forrest,
I call him Tricky. That's Tricky Nixon. That's always been my name for him, but that's another podcast.
Well, so Forrest is a good buddy of mine. I actually do a lot of work for them, and you mentioned Tom, his dad.
Yeah.
Tom was like my childhood hero.
Oh, mine too, man.
And
just a good guy, man.
They're just good people. Tom
Billy,
and TJ and Forrest.
Yeah, Jenny, everybody.
I'm kind of hoping to do one with them one of these days.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that he pulled garden tractors.
Yeah, well, Forrest did, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know Forrest did.
Yeah, it was just kind of, me, Forrest is, I think, a year or two younger than me, and so, that was, I think, Tommy's way of getting him into it. And, we used to go, Forrest would, I think it was one of the things, Tommy was busy doing what he was doing, so bring a couple buddies and keep Forrest kind of entertained. And, me and him and, there was a group of 4 or 5 of us that ran around, and we go National Farm Machinery Show. Of course, we were teenagers. It was a big deal for us. We're walking around looking at the girls and checking all the stuff out. Just being boys, and it was a big time for us. And and then some of the older guys would treat us like big boys. We were away from home, and not gonna say we didn't drink a beer or two, those kind of things, but. Those are memories I'll never forget, man. I know Tommy, the last year I went out there, he was having one of the best years of his life, and man, he just couldn't get the tractor going off the line, and turns out it was a towel down in the pipe to keep the rain out because it was raining.
Oh goodness.
But here's a professional puller. Makes a blunder like that, and I mean. I've myself ran myself out of fuel or got my fuel on. And I can tell you exactly how far a V-twin tractor will go down the track before it runs out of fuel. Because I forgot to turn mine on, that carb bowl only holds so much, it's about 120 foot worth.
Well, I think it's neat and funny. I hope to get Forrest and TJ on here one day. I know it's, we kind of aimed it as being a garden tractor pulling podcast, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, but I think they'd have some insight to the the history around here and things like that. So
Tom was my hero as a kid.
I think everybody around here is, man. Everybody knew him.
And he really sticks out in my head. That's what made me fall in love with tractor pulling. Getting to sit on his tractor when I was a little kid.
Oh, man, yeah.
And what's funny about that, too, is I've got a buddy, TJ Nichols.
Okay.
He pulls a Koreys tractor.
Yeah.
And at Anna Fair, he let Huey sit up on their tractor. So
yeah, it's a cycle, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's Huey's hero now.
Yeah, it's meant to be. Yeah.
But it's really cool. And actually, funny thing, I don't know. Here a couple months ago, I got just curious and started looking into Tom's old tractor, Screaming Demon.
Yeah.
And I knew...
You know who he named that after?
Who?
He named that after Ellie.
Really?
That's what he called her one time, and his name stuck.
I didn't know that.
And if I'm wrong, I apologize to the family, but that's the way I remember it.
I'll be dang. Well, anyway, funny thing is I got curious about it here a couple months ago, and I tracked it down. I knew it was in the Tennessee area, and it's going by the Little Screamer now, Little Screamer tractor. Well, who do we know that lives in Tennessee?
Well,
Jaron.
I know a guy.
Yeah, so I got a hold of Jaron just out of curiosity, and within 20 minutes, we had tracked down who owned it, where it pulled, and what organization it pulled in, and I'm going to try my best this next summer. If I go to Tennessee, Alabama, wherever, I want to go down and see it pull again.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I'm telling you, that's what got me. Him and Henry Piper is what got me hooked on pulling whenever I was a kid. I think Henry was 90 years old whenever he started pulling.
Who was the other one? Was it Jason Newell? He had that real bad John Deere.
Oh, I don't remember. I wasn't much of a John
Squealer,
Deere.
that's what it was called, I think. But
see, I don't remember that one.
I wasn't either, but it was kind of the baddest around.
I remember my biggest ones. I remember was Tom's tractor. I don't remember the name of Henry's tractor, but I remember Henry. He was so cool and always put me up on his tractors when we seen him. And then Black Sabbath, and I cannot think of who.
Oh, you're talking about Black Savage. That was
Black
Randy,
Savage, yeah.
And I can't think of his name. I believe his name was Randy.
That's a band.
But that's a band.
Those were the main ones I remember as a kid.
That was an international,
But anyhow.
We got a little sidetracked.
Yeah. That's fine. So, for those who are listening that don't know, Korey is the president of our club, the 618 Mini Tractor Pullers, and we pull here in Southern Illinois. I'm also a board member. Stacy's our announcer. Sam, whenever she's...
Stacy sometimes.
Yeah, whenever she can, she helps Stacy. So, this is a podcast of board members for our local club. Just tell us about the club, a little background.
All right, man.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so when I got I told you I kind of got back into it in Mississippi, and unfortunately we didn't get to pull down there with those guys much, or at all actually. So we started back here again. We started down in Smithland at Sugar Creek, and learned a lot real fast. And I don't know. I think maybe that next year. I was talking to some local guys, and they were like, man, we should bring it back around here, and, so we had a couple events down at, Pulaski County that first year. We kind of put a name on it, Pulaski County Garden Tractors. Things didn't work out for one reason or another, just, nothing bad, anything like that. It just didn't work out. And, so we decided to try to reuse the old track at Cypress and the one at Olin. We talked about Dongola a little bit. Unfortunately, there's some stuff built there now. We just couldn't get the distance and the parking worked out. So the first year, we tried Olin and we tried Cypress, and we found Olin to be the better of the two tracks. And the city of Olin has been absolutely amazing and wonderful working with us. They want us there. They're excited to have us there. The setup couldn't be any better as far as...
I like the Olin track
it's great. I mean, there's plenty of parking. There's amenities. the city's always working to make it better. They kind of let us do what we want to within the rules, things like that. So yeah, we just decided to make Ulin our home track this year. We got great board members. We got, phenomenal sponsors. Dylan, your business is one of them, and we appreciate each and every one of them. That's something we plan next year to do. That's one of the improvements we talked about next year is really, having like a sponsor of the week and really telling like that business's story and things like that, and, giving them some more exposure. It's the right thing to do. But man, we've come a long way, and everybody's got growing pains, and nothing can ever be perfect. But I think after 2 years, we've settled. We've got storage now. We've got an announcer's booth. We've got a permanent track. We've got all the little details worked out. And I know, from the first pull I ever kind of put on to the last one we just did, the stress levels 100 times less, because things just happen now. It's nice having our own stuff there. We rebuilt the sled that has been around since the days I was talking about being a kid. We put a lot of time and money, again, bless our sponsors. We could have done it without them. We've got some big plans for the sled this year, to make it even better. And I don't know, that's just kind of how we got started back again. A lot of us wanted to do it. And what's crazy is I was told my first year doing this, if we could get 50 to 60 hooks, we'd survive as a club. And I think we're consistently 100 or better, and we just had 140 our last. And
I think sometime either last year or earlier, it was like 107. I remember there was like 176 or something like that.
The end of last year.
Last year
for that pool, and I was like, we were there all day.
And that's it's crazy, but we consistently have pullers from 5 states. We got guys out of Kentucky, Tennessee, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. We got guys come pretty consistently for those. So there's, and geographically we're just situated.
Oh,
right?
yes. You can throw a rock in any direction and
and that's the thing, man. We're
hit another club.
Yeah, we're an hour from the 3 other major clubs around here, and that's one thing I feel like we all did well last year as clubs is the president stood in the middle of the track and shook hands, and we really did good this year to not step on each other's toes as far as scheduling, and it gave everybody a place to go somewhere different. And I think that's something that's really cool. You go to different places, different people.
You could almost hit a pool every weekend.
Yeah, and
in the summer.
And when it's stressful for us to have a home pool, we go to, say, Egypt Mills and we get to relax and have a good time, and that's why they come over to us, because they get to do that.
But at the same time, what I think is really cool myself is if we're over there, we'll jump up and help them. And then the same thing, Mickey was flagging for us this weekend.
Yeah, but look at the SEMO Fair. We took our sled over there and helped them, and because they wanted to run Outlaws and V8s, and I think that pool was almost 400 hooks between the antiques and the garden tractors.
Goodness!
It was crazy, pool. So. Yeah, that's the great thing, man, is we're all getting along, and we're all trying to grow together, and we're all trying to make this a thing, and it's become bigger than I ever thought it would.
Oh yeah.
It's even to the point as board members we've discussed, hey, we got to tweak a few things because we can't do 12 hours of pulling, and things like that. It's blew up way more than I would have ever imagined.
Our one of our previous guests, Wesley and Heidi Bryant, they run a club in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And they hit the nail on the head with that. They said something along the lines of, if you're competing against your clubs that are there close to you, you're doing it wrong. You need to be working with them so that everybody has somewhere to go. And I think we've done a good job of doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
Myself, we talk about this stuff all the time, but just sitting here talking, we can sit here and beat it to death about we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do, you can sit here and talk all day, but also we've only had an established club for 2 years too. That's something that I have trouble reminding myself is, I see things that I could be doing better to help the club, but also we've only been doing this for 2 years.
Correct.
Like there's a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that I like. We all come from different backgrounds, walks, whatever you want to call it. And we all have different experience in our professions and our, just in life in general. And we're all of different ages.
Yeah.
And, things that, one thing I appreciate is some of you guys have been, members of fire departments, things like that. And you've got to deal with cities and councils and things. And to me, it's silly, but you're going, well, hey, hold on, time out. That's the way it is.
Well, and that's
you put it in perspective for me, but then I put it in perspective because I look at it, although it's not, I'm trying to put it, but it's not a business of mine. I try to run it like a business, so that it needs to be, so it don't go broke. So we can, so we can continue on the next year. Yeah. So then sometimes I bring a point up and I go, but from a business perspective of this, and you guys go, well, okay, but we can talk and, we don't get mad at each other. We respect each other's opinions. And at the end of the day, we agree to disagree. We vote, and whatever the vote is what sticks, and we go with it, and then we try to make it better.
And, you and I have talked a lot lately, and this is something I appreciate is I feel like we can be very straightforward and blunt with each other, and no one gets in a fuss. And, one of the biggest things that I've said is, we need to have more meetings in person. And I'll stand by that because, good grief. For instance, Jaron told me the other day that I sound like a complete dick over text message. And he's not wrong. I know that. But that's the thing.
But also it's a text. Like,
I think if we have more... All right. So anyway, we had to take a quick break. So anyway, Jaron told me the other day that I seem like a dick over the phone, just the way my messages read, and I know that, but that's the importance of I think we need to do more stuff in person so that we don't read each other wrong.
Yeah, I agree. We've had some conversations before. I've sent something out on the text and been like, "Hey guys, I think this," and somebody replies and somebody takes it wrong, and then it turns into not necessarily an argument, but a debate, if you will. Yeah. And if we were to have done that just
in person, it could have been a lot easier.
It would have, because somebody could just be like, hey, hold on, that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing we learned on, and I think we did well the last couple pools. We've met beforehand and really hashed out who's doing what. And man, it was so smooth this last pool.
It was just but it was just a different feel this last pool. Everything just fell into place and was super easy.
And nobody was stressed out.
No.
Everything went smooth, and it was. I was really happy with the outcome.
So, what would you say some of the bad things about running the club?
Man, some of the bad things. Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Let me ask you this. Is it a lot of work because you take on too much and you don't disperse it amongst your members?
You're right.
Or is it a lot of work because there's just a lot that goes on into it?
It's a little bit of both, Dylan, to be honest. I've not done a very good job about, writing out everything. And I know that's one thing we're talking about this year with, new year, new board member elections. There could be some changes. And if there's not, that's fine. There's nothing that needs changed if not. But if the elections dictate otherwise,
and that's where I fell short too this year. We've had a lot going on.
Yeah,
and I've not stepped up like I could, I guess. And I hope to step up more next year. But I think people are starting to realize where they're falling into place, too.
Sure, I agree.
And I think you're starting to realize where you can utilize all of us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, like I told you before, I have to run it like a business because we have to survive. And, unfortunately, money rules the world. And, it takes a lot of money to do this. I don't think people quite understand what kind of money it takes to put these things on, and
they really don't.
People really,
it's
really
as simple
don't.
as this year. We started with nothing. Last year we borrowed a sound system. This year we had to buy one, but that's $3,000. And again, thankful for all of our sponsors, and people really stepped up this year sponsor wise, and we were able to do that. Well, and now we don't have the problem. People can hear us, and that's a good thing. But again, that's $3,000. Where do you?
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of money to everybody. Where does that come from? So
plus, we're trying to make payouts and make it enticing for people to come pull with us
we have
too.
Insurance. This is insurance is several $1,000s a year. We
bought the Connex so that we could have storage for this stuff.
Through some very generous donations, we got the announcer's stand paid for. But we had to buy concrete barriers. We had to get new lights. You name it. You got to rent porta potties. We pay utilities to the city, because we use their electricity and their water and those kind of things. There's a lot that goes into it, and those are all things that fall on us as a club. And no, you're right. There's a lot of things that I haven't asked people to do. And running social media is almost a full-time job.
Oh, absolutely.
Trying to promote it,
social
answer
media
questions,
will be the death of me.
And so to go into the negative, I guess my thing would be, basically, the big thing is, I think everybody needs to approach it like they just need to approach it with what can I do? And even if it's just be ready, register in time, be ready, be ready to hook to the sled when it's your turn, keep up with it, those kind of things. That helps a lot.
Absolutely.
That helps a lot because, man, you got a guy down there, it's 110 degrees. Like Anna Fair was miserable this year.
That one was awful.
And you're down there trying to hook and keep things going, and you got a guy coming up 4 times asking you, where am I at? Where am I at? And the guy's got one tractor, and I know that sounds bad, but at the same time, there's a board with the names on it.
Like the resources are there.
It is. Yeah. It is. So just I think in general, if people just would say, hey, what can I do to make this a little easier or do my part a little bit? And then the board members and people that are able, I know there's a lot of people that aren't physically able, or I know there's people that have small children, and they can't go flagger class because they got 2 little kids. Well, which the kids are a big thing, and we'll probably get into that. But I guess what I'm saying is just people need to understand there's a lot of work goes in this, and none of us financially benefit from us. None of us are doing it for attention. We're doing it because we want to do it. So just try to help out the little part you can, and I think that's the big thing. That's the negatives I saw. I think another negative is just kind of going back again to individuals. I have had experiences where people have came to me with negative complaints, which I'm here to listen to negative. I'm here to listen to positive. I'm listening to hear constructive criticism. I've learned a lot from people just coming up and talking to me.
Well, and that's how you grow.
Yeah.
One of the things that kind of bugs me is, you touched on the business side of it, and I can relate to that because,
you're a business owner.
Yes, I've had several people that's like, well, where's this money going? Where's that going? And the biggest answer I can give them is like, you don't realize how much this stuff costs. It's like, for instance, I got a $30,000 CNC plasma table to make your $20 sign.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's the same thing as, okay, well, we're making money off of the kids' hooks, but we just spent $3,000 on a sound system. Kind of understand that side of things with us.
I think that's the biggest thing. With the negative that has come, I just kind of have to look at the person saying it and just take it with a grain of salt and go, all right, man, cool. I heard what you had to say. And, but I didn't see you helping last weekend, and we gotta move on. We're going to do the best we can as a board. And I think we all try to make the best decisions. Maybe they're not always the right one, but we're doing what we can. But like you hit on earlier, it's only our second year. We're going to get better and better. And I think we've come so far since the first time we ever did this to where we are now, I think we've made big strides, you know.
Well, and then getting back to the in-person meetings, you know, a lot of our decisions have been made over a group chat. You know, we all have a group chat and we make decisions together through that, but...
And sometimes that's necessary. It's quick, it's simple, it's easy. Hey, do we do this? Do we do that? But
well, not everyone can meet on a random
Correct.
weekday.
And then on the other side of that, too, though, is I think if we were able to have more in-person ones and give people the opportunity to show up in person and ask us these questions, we could better explain this stuff, too, so then there ain't so many people being skeptical of different things.
Sure, I get it, Yeah, that makes sense. And, And I think that's something we you know, I know we've talked about it, but I think that's in the works for next year.
Oh, yeah.
At least maybe like a quarterly meeting,
yes,
you know. And then, you know, like you said, us as a board meeting before and after the pool. I mean, you know, we did it this time. We met before, we really hashed out what we were doing, and then afterwards it
all just fell into place.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that.
Afterwards, we really didn't have that much to talk about.
No,
and we had a couple little things, and we came away from it good.
And really, the point of this discussion is nobody's perfect.
No.
Perfect. We can sit here and beat this to death. There's plenty of things we can improve on, but you know, at the end of the day, is if you don't like it, join it and see what you can do to help us improve. You know, or don't come. We'd prefer everybody to be here,
and we do. I mean, we want everybody to be there, and we want everybody to have a good time. And that's the main thing. And you know, again, we're one thing we pride ourselves in is our kids.
Yes.
I've pulled in a lot of different places, and I've never seen a kids class more than a dozen kids, and I think we literally have. Stacy, you're probably better in the numbers, but somewhere in the 30s, we literally have 30 little kids that have their own tractors consistently show up and pull. I mean, our 12-horse class is somewhere between 20 and 30 every time, and that's amazing. And I know it takes a long time. And you know, but it's about them, and they're the future, and you know, one day they're going to be us sitting here doing this, talking about it. You know,
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope
Maybe.
so too, man. I hope so too.
You're talking about the kids. We actually had another guest mention a good idea. You know, I know me and you've talked about, like, at our Union County Fair, I think we had 30 kids at that one. It got so monotonous. And it's so hot. One of the suggestions that we had that I thought would be really fun would be, like, break them up into heats.
Yeah.
Do almost like 3 heats of 10, and then do a pull-off. Like the top 3 from each heat. Do a pull-off, and then you can...
I like that, man.
I think it'd be a freaking blast. You could have, you know, a class of kids, a twin class, you know, your 12-horse adult class. You have mini rods, and then you can have another kid class.
Yeah, even if it's just splitting them in half and then bringing the top 5 from each side. You know,
I think that would be a blast. And then also, on the other side of that, too, is, you know, if the kids do good, that gives them another hook for free.
Yeah,
basically.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's actually a really good idea.
I think that would be fun.
I've never thought of it that way, and you and I obviously go to a lot of UQS pools. We're going to Liberty next weekend. I can be a D&D employee again for the second year in a row.
Honorable.
I kind of like it though. You know, it was fun. We had a lot of fun last year. We're not going to discuss the drive out, but
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But anyway, no, that's a good time we have. It's a good little break from here, and we get to go out and talk to a lot of people, and learn a lot of things, and man, you get to sell your parts. Which I had a question for you, but. We'll get there later.
Yeah, we'll come back to the Liberty stuff here later. But I was gonna say, you know, I've been a lot of places pulling lately too, and kind of the general consensus I get from everybody too is they really don't have a big class of kids all over the place either.
No.
Like, you know, whenever I tell them we got 20 to 30 kids, people are just blown away by that.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. It is great, man. Stacy takes pictures of all of them.
Yes.
You know, I know you make trophies sometimes. Sometimes I buy them. Just depends on what we all got going on. But they're always happy to win them. You know, I haven't had any
kids complain about that or anything. I mean, that's a cool thing, man. And that kind of brings me back to like, you know, when I started, man, it was you and your little buddies and getting a pull. And, you know, they got their little rivalries.
Oh,
and
yes, they do.
They do just like we do as big kids.
Yeah.
We look around and go, well, he's not here today. I might win, you know?
Yep.
Or that's like when, you know, I look and I see Mike Haswinkle's not there, him and Randy. I'm like, well, I might just win today, you know?
But then is it fun if they're not there?
But it's really.
Well, and then you just got to go sabotage Mike's tractor. So
I knew that was coming, man. I knew that was coming. I saw that on Facebook earlier. Did I sabotage Mike's tractor? No. In fact, I offered him my fuel pump so he could run.
Oh, I was going to go grab mine for him, too.
Man, I love that dude, man.
I do, too.
He's a good dude.
So, what's some of the good things about running the club?
Man, so some of the good things is, you know, I was gone for 20 years and I came back and I feel like it's a way that I can give back to my community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love Southern Illinois. I was born and raised here. It was a big thing when I was a kid. Man, you know, and that's something else. We have a lot of people just come watch our pools.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
noticed
see
that
it a
too.
lot of other places.
Yeah.
And the community support and things like that. So there's a lot of good there's a lot of good feels with that, you know, just being able to give back and do something. And you know, and for me, and it's not I'm not asking for a thank you. I'm not asking for any of that. But to see it go from nothing to where we are, and now we have this, and it's just a whole thing, and it's crazy how much it's blown up, and how many little kids are, and you see the true excitement there.
Oh yeah.
And you know the greatest thing is, you know, I've mentioned before, my son doesn't pull anymore, and I'm not mad at him about it. I mean, he made his choice, and that's fine.
The fact is, he was honest about it too.
He was.
Though.
Kids got to be kids. But what I like is there are kids out there learning to wrench on these tractors.
Oh my goodness!
And we're talking about 60s, 70s, 80s technology, and they're learning stuff that me and you know because that was popular when we were kids. It's not popular now, and I think it's
some
cool.
of these kids probably know more than you guys.
Oh, I bet you they do, you know, and just the fact that moms and dads are getting to spend time with their kids, and it's a thing, and then you know, just like our last one, you know, man, they get to wear the little Halloween costume, and trick or treat, like it's just a fun thing, man, and then you know we have a lot of older pullers too, and those guys get to see it kind of rekindled, whereas I feel like there was a time that a lot of this maybe would die. You know, and, you know, like I said, I was out of it for 20 years and man, I never thought about it. And then I got back into it and I'm like, wow, this has changed. And I had to learn a bunch quick. And
I feel like it's exploded within the past couple of years.
Yes,
I don't know if it's just because I've started doing it and going to it, but I feel like it's.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's a question I had for Sam when we get to the question.
Well, I've actually touched on that a little bit in some prior episodes, you know. I remember when I was a little kid, not a little kid, you know, in my teen years, 12, 13, 14 year, you know, they pulled tractors in Dongola. And I was always really interested in it, but I raced four-wheelers at the time, and Dad was like, well, you're going to pick one, race some four-wheelers or we'll get you a garden tractor. And I had a buddy that raced four-wheelers, so I stuck with that. And, you know, it was something that always interested me because I've always been to big tractor pulls.
Right.
And, you know, me and you got to being friends because you had a pull several years ago at Pulaski. I come down to watch and hang out. And
then you did some work for me. And
I just got interested in it, and it took off. And, you know, that's something that's really cool is, you know, whether people like you, love you, hate you, whatever, you brought it back to this area, period. You know, you're the one that brought it back to this area, and we were able to start doing it again. There's a lot of guys that, you know, dug their tractors out of the barns and
that's
from years ago,
too,
and people that's built new ones, and we finally got into it, and it wouldn't have happened without you. That's all there is to it.
Well, what's cool is seeing tractors that I pulled against when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, like the Koreys, man. I mean, they were some of my big rivals back in the day, and here they are. We're pulling right alongside each other, and they got the same tractors they had, and I got mine. And, you know, I mean, I just think that's kind of cool, too, so. A question for Stacy. I'll ask a question to Stacy.
Go ahead.
So you're from California.
Oh, yeah.
I know you didn't see this growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, Southern California.
What kind of hillbilly hell have you landed in?
Well,
Sorry about your luck.
sorry about my look. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, you know about the big tractors, and I've never been to see them in Southern California, but they were around. But other than that, no, I mean, I knew nothing about garden tractors, and when he brought this tractor home to Mississippi, I was like, what in the hell are you going to do with that?
You probably, it's a lawnmower.
Yeah, basically, I'm like, we could have got one of those, you know.
No,
and,
it's a garden tractor.
Yeah.
There's a difference. And it's not a racing mower either.
Yeah. So.
Oh, only Mickey Brown has racing mowers.
Yeah. He's got some good ones.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit earlier about, you know, the kids getting involved with their dads and stuff. You know, Jason, Caleb Schultz, and then the Aiden boys are the ones that really just jump out at me whenever you talk about that, because I've had Michael and Jeff tell me so many stories about just going out to the shed with the boys, and good grief, they just cook up all kinds of big ideas.
Oh, Jace, man, he's Jace is the one that stands out with me, because he is he's in your hip pocket, he's bouncing around, he's doing his thing.
He's got all kinds of ideas, and he's telling you about them.
Well, and I'll tell you what impressed me about Jace. It wasn't very long ago that he needed a part. I don't know. He come by and he got the part. I had it, and he looked over and he saw a tractor I'd bought for parts.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you going to do with that?" And I was like, "Well, put it in the truck and take it home," because I was like, otherwise Dylan's going to haul it off for scrap. He goes, "Really? Can I have it?" I said, "Yeah, you can have it." And I gave him some other stuff that was, you know, I wasn't going to use it, whatever. And he pulled it Saturday.
Yeah. Yep.
But he did all that work himself. And, and that just shows his dedication to
that
it.
kid
And, you know, I mean,
he blows my mind. Yeah.
Keep in mind,
he cracks me up, but
he's hilarious. Yeah.
We're talking about some 10-year-old kids here.
I mean, Jace is our first guest. No, he's our first guest.
He's our first guest. We're still working on Caleb to join. But what's interesting about Caleb and Jace is Jace, like, it seems like he likes to go fast and get more power, and Caleb's more meticulous and wants to...
I can see that, yeah.
You know, wants to fine-tune stuff.
Yeah.
And something, too, that impresses me is I recently got a big lathe that I've... from one of my older buddies, and Michael, Jace's dad, come and bought my little lathe, and they've been making some shifter handles.
Yeah, and they were great, man.
This 10-year-old kid is learning about machine work.
Yeah, that's cool.
And selling them.
And selling them. And then Caleb...
And you know he's putting it in his tractors.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what Michael said the other day. He's like, shoot, we sold some shifters, and we're just going to put it back into building tractors up. And
that's awesome, man. I love seeing that, man. He's
10-year-old kids that got that much ambition.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about it, you know. Like I said, he really stands out to me. You know, he's one of the futures of the club.
Oh,
probably,
absolutely.
And
scary, but absolutely.
He's running it someday. I know he is.
Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, just that whole fact that, you know, he took what I considered scrap metal, and he come back last weekend with a whole tractor.
Oh, yeah.
And he's pieced it together himself. And doesn't matter how he did it. You know,
Yeah, Michael's got more patience than anyone I know.
Yeah, but I just thought that was cool. You know, he did it all, and he did it himself, and
And then Jeff's told me stories about Caleb. You know, Jeff will just sit in a chair, and Caleb will rebuild motors, and just wait. You know, Dad, I got a question, and Jeff will go fill in the blanks, and Caleb will build his own motors, and it just impresses me, them kids. Cool. And then Josh's boys. Nathan and Owen. Owen, not so much as interested, but Nathan, you know, when we were building his tractor, he came to shop and built his own rear fenders. And
I remember that.
I think he did the axle and stuff on his tractor. Like, he put a lot of the welding and fabrication in his tractor himself. And, you know.
And good on you for teaching him those things and helping him, you know.
I love that. You know, there's adults out there that don't have that much ambition.
And you keep saying kids, but I think maybe Stacy could clarify, like, what our kids group really is. Like, there's a big age gap there. And, you know, experience gap too. But Stacy, tell us about that. Like, what you see from the registration side.
Oh.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, I mean, from the registration side, I mean, you've got anywhere from 2 to 3 years old up to 16 that pull in our kids. Like Case and Johnson, I think he's only about 3. Huey is what, 4? He just celebrated his
He started when he was 3, though.
He's been pulling for a year already.
They look like little bobbleheads on the tractor.
Little bobbleheads running around.
But Kason does good.
Kason does good.
He's super cute.
The other day when Huey pulled, if you watch in the video, I scooted his butt over. He was starting to drift to one side, and I scooted his butt over. When we got back to the trailer, he goes, "Uncle Dylan, why'd you push me?" And I was like, "Well, if you get your weight over that side, you can straighten up a little bit." And he goes, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Like, he just grasps it.
But he learned it,
And he's like, "I kept my foot pedal down the whole time. I put a dummy foot pedal on for him."
Oh, okay.
To practice.
That's a good idea.
So he pulled Sam's tractor, I don't know, several times ago, and we zip tied his throttle pedal down. He pulled it Anna. And he's like, "I want one of those foot pedals on my tractor." So I'm like, "Well, buddy, I don't think you're quite ready."
Tall enough,
so
honestly.
I had an extra one I put on there, and we've been paying attention to him. Keep it down. If you keep it down, we'll put one on for you. And he's made sure of doing that. But yeah, them kids learn so much.
Yeah. And then you got the ones like, Clayton's daughter that she can't wait to get on.
Oh my goodness.
She
from
was
the
just,
start, though. From the start, she was just all about it. I remember they would pick her up off of it, and she'd just start crying.
She was always sitting on it, always trying to be a part of it.
Because Drayden had to pull it, and she was just like, "Why do I have to get off?"
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm
excited for her to get one.
Yeah. There's a wide range, and then you've got 17, 18-year-olds coming in that have never pulled.
Or you got 50-year-olds that have never pulled.
Yeah.
Oh, shush it.
I mean, I was 29?
My dad started when he was 61.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
So, I mean, like you said, it's just all ages, all experiences. You never know what's going to come up and register. I mean, people I see all the time, and then there's people that I have no idea who they are.
So anyway, one of the neat things I've said all along is that you can have a 4-year-old up to 65-year-old pulling. Yeah, everyone. It's fun for all ages.
I mean, look at Clem. He's what?
70s or 80s.
Yeah, I mean, we got.
Well, shoot, Mickey's probably in the 70s or 80s, ain't he?
I think Mickey's about 180. I think.
Maybe if we give him enough crap, he'll finally decide to get on here with
he'll
us.
have to come defend himself.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. No, Mickey's old enough to get a senior discount. That's all we'll say.
Not on parts, though.
No, not on parts. But anyway, I just like that it's something I can go do with everybody.
Yeah. And that's something I'm excited about Stacy getting into it. It's something I've wanted to do with her, and I really saw her light up about it, and she's excited about it now. And surprising that her budget's way bigger than mine was.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's funny how you can just find the money.
So,
it's funny. Yeah.
So do you think we should create like a AARP class next year?
Hey, but something we have actually talked about a little bit, and it's polled on the page right now, is having a women's and kids only pool next year. And
I was going to touch on that too.
Yeah, man, it's seeming to catch some gravity, and I think we can get a lot of new pullers into it, and I think it'd be an icebreaker for a lot of people that, like Stacy was,
make them feel more comfortable.
Yeah, exactly, because it would be so many other people's first times and things. So I think that'd be a cool thing, and I'm looking forward to that one, actually.
I've actually had this conversation just shooting the bull with, like, Jeff and Josh at the shop, and I think it's funny that you put that out there the other day to us, is I've thought about having a kids-only with like a filler class pull. I would love to see it maybe be like a 2-day event here in Marion.
Sure.
And I think we could make that happen.
Yeah.
And actually, me and Korey haven't even had this conversation. It's just some stuff that I come up with, and I had a chance to talk to him about. But I I actually ran a derby forever ago, or I was at a derby forever ago, and they did a potluck kind of thing.
Okay.
And I think that'd be really cool for a 12-horse class. So the way they did that was everybody that wanted to run this derby, they could bring an item that was worth, I don't know, $100.
Okay.
And they had things from tires to a couple cases of beer to a refrigerator to coolers. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff. That was the entry fee.
Okay.
So I think it'd be really cool to do like, however we could break it up to do like maybe heats and then a pull off with the kids.
Yeah.
But have some filler classes and maybe like a 12-horse adults class or the women's class or whatever and make it a potluck. So the way they did that was first place got first pick of the prizes.
Okay.
Second place and so on. But everyone got a prize, and it was all, supposed to be worth $100 or so. And it was just totally off the wall, but it was fun.
Yeah, that'd be neat. Yeah.
I think
like Dirty Santa, but pulling tractor.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Okay.
So that was kind of something I thought about that would be neat. And then I really like the idea of having just a nothing but kids type pool, because I know like at our fair pools we've talked about maybe cutting back on some of the kids classes just to help them go.
Well, we're going to have to just because of
time,
and that's a new thing for us. We got into this year and we've grown. We're up to like I think next year 5 pools, 5 or 6 even
at fairgrounds.
And that's one of the things is because of time constraints we have to fit a show into a certain hour
right.
So, we're going to have to scale back a little bit on that. But
and that's where I'm coming from on that is if we're going to cut a little bit, like, I think maybe we should try to give back at the same time and maybe try to get, like, some, I don't know about, like, a prize money thing would be neat, but, like, some kind of big prize to get people to come and stay out of town, come pool and do this kids class
Well,
thing.
especially since some of the fairs are on like a Wednesday or a Thursday night. It's it's hard. I mean, and that's something that.
Oh, I'm meaning like having a kids only deal at one point. I think would be a lot of fun.
I agree.
And then like doing the potluck for the adults because I know several adults that just jump on their kids tractor and.
But I mean, you could do it at the end of the year and have a bonfire and
that's exactly what I've said. That's
cool.
I think that'd be a freaking blast. Yeah. Do like an awards banquet at night and just have a bonfire and get back to what pulling I feel like should be is just hang out with your buddies, not showing up pulling and hitting the road. Anyway, I got rambling and now I kind of lost track of where I was going with that, but. Anyway, that's something for us to keep discussing.
What's the belt over there have to say? We don't have anything to say.
I ask all of our guests this. Korey, what do you think about points?
Okay, points. So I listened to the last one. It's no secret I'm good friends with Mike, and I have to agree on Mike's point. It's something that's been addressed to me as a president many times, and I feel like I've done a lot of work and research on it. I see it both ways. I really do. Personally, I think it would be great because you got, if you've got a tractor that's a competitive tractor. You're going to have your good days and you're going to have your bad days. Yep. And I think at the end of the year, having that consistent tractor, you get rewarded for that.
Yes. And that's one of the biggest things that sticks out to me is we have people that come and pull with us as very consistent.
Correct.
I mean, I don't know that Mickey or Steve or any of those guys ever miss a pull with us. And I feel like we should give back to them in some way.
Yeah. And I can see that totally being a way we did that. You use somebody like Mickey, for example. Obviously his V-twins are very strong tractors. They're hard to beat. I'm always chasing his tail. I think I've only beat him once, maybe. And
that wasn't the day you're in out of fuel, though.
No, it wasn't. But that's a good example of the consistency. At the end of the year, I feel like he'd probably come out your points champion and be rewarded for that. However, from the perspective that was given last time, I have talked to a lot of clubs that are very negative against it, and they feel that
there's a lot of drama involved too.
When a title's necessarily on the line, it's one thing to have an April pool and you're the top dog, and then you come May, you're not, and it trades back and forth all year. But when at the end of the year you're the guy standing there getting the award, whatever that is. That's kind of the perspective I've been given from it. I've personally never competed in a sport other than a little rodeo early on in high school that points really mattered.
Did you goat rope?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Still doing it.
Yeah.
No, I bull rode a little bit. But, you look at professional sports like hockey. I'm a big hockey fan, Chicago Blackhawks fan, and points matter at the end of the year. And that's where you get into that consistency. You think so I really do see it both ways. But if you had to ask me right now, I would say no. Okay. And the reason I say no would be to avoid any conflict, and just keep it pure. And it is what it is. We're there to have fun, and it's. Obviously, none of us are getting rich off of it. I mean, I think the most I've ever won in one night was $400, and I broke a part that was more than that. So, I mean,
Yeah, but you won.
Yeah, but I did win. That's not a beat Mickey. So,
well, for me, the points I have been involved, and I mean, I've spoke on this a time or two on here. I have been involved in sports that had points, and in my eyes, it made it more competitive, but it was like the people that were in the class that I was doing it, like, it was fun. Everyone was digging at each other, and it was a fun going back and forth. I can certainly see where it could be taken negatively, though, and I think that's really where it honestly just depends on who's doing it.
I think so too. An example I give, we were joking about this championship belt, and that's something that started, I don't know if people know the story on it or not, but
we'll tell it here in a minute.
Okay. You want me to save it then?
Oh, yeah, you can save it a little bit.
I'll save it. But that's a good example, I think, of you can still have that competitive nature, but not have that have that hanging over your head, or the pressure, the pressure. And I think you hit on that last week. Everybody's got their own lives, and I got a funeral to go to, or I got a pool to go to.
Well, that's where That's where I'm torn too. Is if a guy or person just simply can't make it, that just kind of sucks for him.
And I like that idea you had about dropping the couple off. That was an interesting perspective I've never heard before.
Well, and that's why I've been asking people on here. Is I kind of want to put different perspectives out there. Something. I mentioned you earlier, just chit-chatting. I would kind of like to try a class or two next year of doing this and seeing how it goes. It may be something at the end of the year we go, screw that, we ain't ever doing it again. Or it might be something like, okay, well, let's try some of the other classes.
And I think that's something after our next annual meeting, when we get the new board in, or the same board, or whatever that shakes out to be. I think that'd be something we should definitely talk about and discuss. And like you said, man, maybe we'll give it a shot. And at the end of the year, we're like, man, that was perfect. Let's do it for every class, or let's not do that ever again.
Yeah, exactly. I would just like to give it a try. My personal opinion, I think it'd be a blast to do it in the twin class and the 16-horse class that we have, just because the people that are in those classes seem to have a mutual respect for each other. And I don't think you'd get a lot of conflict, and it would be a good test. I think that, as silly as it sounds, I think that 12-horse class is far more competitive than
absolutely,
some of these others, and it might be a little bit of a booger to try to do that in that class.
Yeah, we got a pretty tough. We got pretty tough 12s. They're real tight.
So. Obviously, we've been talking for some time about the club here, but and we've talked about some improvements and this and that. But just to narrow it down, what are some things that you plan to do to improve the club next year, or you would like to see happen, or some things that you'd like to see us as board members do to help? Just all different areas of it.
So, one of the big things is the sled's a priority. I mean, that's the heartbeat.
Mhm.
We can't do it without the sled. Man, I can't give enough credit to Daryl Bracken and Jeff's Automotive, and all the sled sponsors, of course. But Daryl really keeps us running, and he spends a lot of his own time working on our sled. I've been there with him on a Saturday and Sunday. We've all have working on it, painting it, fixing it up. We got a new motor and transmission coming for it next year that'll eliminate the problems we had this year. Make us a lot better for the higher horsepower stuff that we've never seen before, like these V8s and the Outlaws. So I think sled brakes and issues like that will be mitigated, next year. There's a few safety concerns around the track that we plan to address, such as more barriers and guardrails, things like that, just to keep the people, because like I said before, we got a lot of people come and watch, and they don't understand how fast something can get out of hand, especially with our faster moving stuff. Somebody could have a medical emergency on a tractor, and not be able to shut it down. We got some very good drivers. I mean, Cody Floyd took me for a ride one time on a sled. Yep. I'll never forget, man. But because he's such a good driver, neither one of us got hurt, and a wheelie bar got bent, and we moved on with the day, So those are some things. I know the city's working on, I think, a pavilion with some nice bathrooms. I think we got the food truck situation lined out. We've got some very good vendors that come, and we're able, especially this last pull, we had a little bit of a variety. It took a load off the ones that were there. I think it made it a little easier for everybody trying to go get something to eat. They didn't have to wait as long. So I think those are some good things. Again, everything we do, we're trying to do better. We're trying to make it easier. We're hopeful we have another successful year with sponsors, and we can buy a readout screen so everybody that's there is informed. Such as what Mike has when he comes. We're looking at we've already had a TV donated. I've got one at home. There's several people offered them. We're looking to do somewhat similar to what NQS does, where Stacy has a laptop and she's able to type it in, and then people got the top 5. They've got the running order. They can look at a screen and see it.
I really like. I went to
it's a great
Princeton
thing.
that was my first NQS pool, and I even told Dylan, I was like, "Oh, I like that."
Well, you need to know information. You walk over to the TV and it's there, and you can put little announcements down there, like, "Hey, we're going to take a 10-minute break and water the track," whatever. Whatever it is, it's there. Those are just some things off the top of my head I can think about. I think we've got a club member that has volunteered to haul some clay in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, Phil Dillows.
Okay.
He's offered to work with us on that.
That'll be helpful.
Maybe get a little some more good dirt on top of the track.
I'm supposed to pick up some wheat and rye to throw on the track tomorrow.
But yeah, just little things, man. We got a great track crew, and I mean, if you look at from our first pull to our last pull, our track conditions, I mean, man, they've been perfect. 2 or 3 times. I mean, I can't complain there. Those guys work hard, man. They work all day Friday, Saturday into the morning. They're there in the dark, which takes a lot of stress off me. I worry about it more from the administrative side and making things happen, answering phone calls and questions, getting the money together, all those things. So, yeah, I think we have a good plan going forward in 2026. We're gonna really break down and clarify rules and classes and decide as a group what we're gonna do moving forward. We've really figured out the fair thing. It's kind of become a thing. A lot of the local fairs are trying to find new events, and they've been happy with the show we've been able to give them. Obviously, we have to streamline a little bit, but figuring out the business side of that too, that's been a whole thing. I mean, every fair is different, and
there's trying to keep people happy. And
just from the reporting side, some need to know this information, some need to know that, and that's just the whole thing, So, but I kind of got a grasp on that now, and I know what to do next year going forward. So, yeah, those are some things that. We're just trying to make everything as best we can and have one of the best tracks around,
Stacy, I mean, we all know you're the boss. What do you plan to improve, or what would you like to see done to improve and make your life a little easier?
I don't think I have it as bad as some say.
Well, we can't do it without you. I can
Absolutely.
None of us want to.
And I mean, the biggest thing is just having people get there on time and get registered.
I feel like you're directing at this at me because I come up, I want to jump in extra classes.
And that doesn't bother me. It's just in the morning we're trying to get everything ready.
Mm-hmm.
We like to get started on time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We did a very good job this last time. I think we were on the dot at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. And this last time people were in line and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think just getting that out there really helps, because you wait to the last minute and then he's trying to start the driver's meeting, we've got tractors running and it's hard to hear.
Yep.
People are, if that person that's trying to, register at that point in time has kids, now they're trying to get done with me to get the kids up going, and.
Well, and that's something that's a behind the scenes thing. Like, I'll give you this last pool. We really wanted our V8 guys there. They put on a great show, man. They're big, they're loud, they're fun to watch. A lot of people show up just to see them, to be honest, see them and the kids. But they had some prior obligations, and I had talked to a couple of the drivers, and they're like, man, if you can, get us out of there by a certain time, we would come and make the show better. And starting on time was very important for that. And that's one of the things is we were able to start on time, and we were able to get those guys in and out, and we still got to put on the full show. And, but if we'd have been an hour late, that may not have been the instance. So.
Right. For myself, being a board member, some of the stuff I plan to do and improve is I would like to, step up and try to take a little load off of Korey, but at the same time, like we said earlier, Korey needs to tell me what the hell he needs done so that I can do that. I'm not being a jerk about it. It's just that's how it is. There's a few of us that would like to take some more load off of him, but we don't know what that load is sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward, I'd like to be more involved, because the way I look at a lot of things is, if I'm not doing it, then who's gonna? Because it's not like we got a line of people waiting to do it. There's people that want to show up and reap the benefits of it, but no one's really breaking down the door to try to help out.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to try to help out a little more. I really enjoyed myself the last few pulls. I've had a lot going on this year that I've had to kind of restructure some stuff. So looking forward, I think it'll be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, you got anything to add to any of that? Okay. She says no.
She's folding laundry right now.
I am folding laundry right now. It ran longer than I thought it would, which is good. But, no, I haven't gotten to be very involved this year because of the move and my new job. And
all right. So
Stacy talk a little bit.
Yeah. All that being said, now it's time for Stacy to talk. So gather around, folks. Stacy, tell us the tale of your first time pulling.
It didn't go so well. So I pulled in the 16 Open, and there was that spot where everybody just veered off to the right, and somebody had said, lean in the opposite direction.
So
I got that confused. Yeah, my bad.
So
you guys had a talk before you went about like which way to lean. And
I think
did somebody not listen?
I think you're familiar with the concept, Dylan.
Oh yeah. So did somebody not listen, or did somebody give bad advice?
Somebody gave bad advice.
Okay.
So I leaned the opposite way, and that tractor went.
I think it was sabotage.
Yeah, it was. So I had to kill it before it went out of bounds, and I didn't do so hot. So even Jace beat me.
Even Jace, what's that supposed to mean?
Jace is competition.
He is competition. But I told him, I said, I'm coming for you. And so then I pulled in the Ilmo hot stock, and I
whooped everybody's ass.
Yeah, so and I tried to avoid that little area over there, but
you learned,
yeah. So, anyways, but it was dancing pretty good there at the end, and
So, I mean, I've known you guys for a few years, and I know this whole time Korey's been wanting to get you on a tractor.
yes.
What finally got you on a tractor? Was it him just wearing you down, or did you just finally say, screw it, I'm going to give it a try? Or was it your own?
No, it definitely wasn't my own. It was that. I would have to say a little bit of both of those. And then he threw me under the bus and posted all over Facebook.
Oh, that's a good way of peer pressure, isn't it?
So I was
I
like,
told her you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Now everybody's got this expectation of me, and I can't let everybody down. So,
Well,
I was very mad at him.
well, since you finally did it, do you wish you would have done it sooner?
I do. I
Do you?
do. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was definitely different. So I wasn't sure what to expect. I mean, you see people going and, and typically the faster ones, not necessarily the slower ones,
Mhm.
but, I mean, they can. Like I said, when I got down to the end on that first one and that thing just went, meow, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what happened? It's just, you have to really keep on top of it. So it's a challenge.
One of the interesting things for me is, you probably seen it too from the announcer stand. You're watching some of these classes and just thinking, my goodness, they're going so slow. This is kind of boring. But once your butt's on the seat, it feels like you're flying.
Yeah, you're going a lot faster.
And just a little jump between a class. I mean, you saw that going to that 50 cube. And that was me going to a V-twin this year on the new one with the new motor and the new training and everything. I mean, going 5, 6, 7 mile an hour on a 16 open to 12 mile an hour sometimes on a twin it's crazy.
The other day, I noticed I was going 5.7 mile an hour on my 16, and I looked up and I thought, man, I'm cruising, and I'm going 5 mile an hour.
Yeah, and you run 80 going down the interstate. You know nothing about it. Yeah, it's different.
So, would you say it gave you more of a, I don't know, kind of an adrenaline rush than you expected?
Oh yeah.
Than sitting in an announcer stand?
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. Especially when I got down to the end and everybody was like, "You won!" I was like, "What?"
Yeah, as soon as you win, you're like, "Well, okay,
So, but I have told Korey that I can't drive anymore because how am I going to beat myself now?
Yeah,
I got to stay in that top spot, so I'm retiring.
Right. So if you retire now, you're number one.
Yeah,
with the belt.
So
that reminded me of one of the first times we went up to see Kevin up at Vogel, Virginia. His mom was in there, and Stacy was asking his wife and everybody if they pulled, and Virginia said, "Yeah, I won time, and I won first place, and I retired."
Yeah.
I thought it was funny because she said that the other night. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to do it again, Stacy?
I am.
Oh, good.
Oh, she's already building a new motor.
Good.
I'm sure it'll hopefully make the trek to Lebanon, and I'm going to have to remember to take the belt.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you've remembered to take it everywhere else. So.
So
It's true.
Me and Stacy kind of talked a little bit the other day, on the side of the track about the pulling, and you said something about how happy Korey was about it. And I've got to say the same thing for myself. From the guy's point of view, it makes you feel really good to have something to share with your significant other. That you, like, I enjoy the pulling so much, and I can't put into words how happy it makes me whenever Sam does good and she's excited. So, you guys will never know how much that means to us on that side of things. And then
I was way more happier she won.
I didn't even drive that day. You know? And I had more fun and was happier leaving that pool than I had been all year.
Absolutely. I could have won who knows how much and not been as happy as whenever Sam's done good.
Yeah, I had her, and then I had a young man drive my 12 horse that had never drove before, and he ended up with second place, and it meant a lot to him. And that was just a good day.
Yeah. Oh, certainly. So, we've mentioned the belt many times this evening, and we're finally getting around to the belt. If you pull at our pulls at 618 Mini Pullers, you've probably seen us refer to the belt. So it's been about a week since we pulled last, and I've seen countless pictures of Stacy in the hot tub with the belt. The belt actually joined us tonight for dinner.
Joined us for dinner tonight.
I'm actually staring it down at the table right now. The belt is here with us. It says hi. The belt says it belongs with Stacy and not Mike.
Oh man.
The belt's very important. So tell us about the belt. We'll let Korey start it off because he's the one that started the belt.
He is.
So it all started, when I first got back here and started pulling, Jaron Hill's my teammate. We pull together. Jaron's like a little brother to me. Love him to death, but we're also teammates and we run pretty hard together. We want to win as a team, not individually. We're always happy to see each other beat the other one or whatever. So him and I have always been pretty close, since I got back into it and, started pulling around here and I met Mike. And Mike had, Lady Luck at the time was a 16 and, that year, my tractor was doing really well. Not bragging, but it was kind of hard to beat. It was a good tractor and, brand new motor, brand new tractor. It was doing good. And, we left that year and it was, felt good coming out kind of on top and looking forward to the next year. And then that next year, Mike came back with a new motor and a new tractor. And he debuted it at Lebanon, and he beat me by, I don't know, a half an inch or an inch. And it was, and I was like, oh, okay, you got me. So I did work over the winter. And that next summer, man, me and Mike and Jaron too, before he had some problems with his tractor, the three of us were like neck and neck. I mean, it was, we were first, second, third about everywhere we went. And, we were within inches of each other and usually under an inch. And it was super competitive and we had so much fun and they're both great guys, man. And we had, a lot of fun. We gave each other a lot of crap and, just friendly competitiveness. And, so we were going down to the Brosley track, which is a notorious fast track. And I knew the tractor that Jaron was bringing. It was kind of a new build for Jaron. And I knew it was going to be a good tractor for that track. Like, I knew it was going to be fast. And I stopped at Burger King for lunch, and I picked up one of those little kids' crowns. And sure enough, Jaron got us that day. And so we made Jaron wear the crown for his next pull. And it kind of started the thing. And I don't know. I came home and I was laughing about it, and Stacy and I were sitting there, and I got on Amazon. I found one of these, stupid, wrestling championship belts, and I bought it. So when we went to the track the next weekend or whatever, I won it, and I kept it. Well, again, it was kind of one of the things. I kept it for a little bit, and then I brought the Allis back for Lebanon, and Mike got me by a half an inch, and I had to give it to him. And it's just become a thing. It's hilarious. We mess with each other constantly about it, and we've got a small group that's in on the joke. And as long as the champ's there and you get beat by a competitor, you got to give it up. And it's ha funny till the next time. And glad to get Stacy in on it. And but she's kind of wore me out this week. I mean, having to call her champ for like 4 days in a row has been. I'm used to being like, "Hey, baby," and now I can be like, "Hey, champ." It's awful. Yeah. So yeah, that's the belt, man.
I love it.
I'm just glad she got to take it the way she took it, though. So I know it hurt Mike's feelings. That makes me happy. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, unfortunately for Mike, I was super excited to see him pull and see what he would do, and his fuel pump went out.
So you got him by default.
That was my thinking. So I was
but you got Randy, and I ain't been.
Randy's strong.
I couldn't even smell Randy all year.
Yeah, Randy's
he's been that far ahead. So
he's been
tough
kind of
year.
a quiet quiet fellow that'll just whoop your butt.
Yeah, he's gave it to me all year, and I've had two to run against him all year, and I mean he's gave it to me all year. So,
what would you say has been one of your favorite memories pulling?
My favorite memory is, well, going back to the beginning, as a kid, going and doing the weigh-in and things like that, I'll never forget that, that's just something you don't forget. But, I think my favorite memory probably all time was Stacy pulling the other day. That was really cool.
Yeah.
But my buddy Jeffrey Duke, man, getting his own tractor and pulling and, and doing well. I'm really happy for him, and, I know it meant a lot to him, and I was happy that the pulling community and the great area we live in stepped up and made that happen for him, and just him having his own thing, and I was really proud about that. As a community member, seeing that happen for him. So
absolutely,
that's probably my best pulling memory.
If you're from around the area, Jeffrey. That's really all we're gonna say on that. He loves it. He's there to support us, and he's got himself a pretty snazzy little tractor. Yeah. And Korey did a very good job redoing that with a lot of help from just a lot of people around the area pitching in.
Yeah, couldn't have done it without everybody. We appreciate it.
Stacy, I know you pulled one time, but do you have a favorite memory pulley?
No, I can't say that I have a favorite memory pulling, but one of my favorite.
Yeah, you do. When Mike gave you the belt.
Okay. When Mike gave you the belt.
Did he kiss your shoes too, or was that rumor?
No, it's not rumor. He did. No, just kidding. But one of the things I like best about the tractor pulls is just the little ones.
Yes.
Just getting on there and they can't reach the pedal and they're looking all over the place except for down there. But it's just,
oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
It is the cutest thing ever, and I love it. And they come up and I ask their name or what their tractor's name is, and they're so shy.
Or they're so proud.
They flip the opposite. They're totally proud, and then they're smacking my phone to get the number, and so that's. So I don't have one memory per se, but that's probably my favorite is just seeing them.
Absolutely. So Korey, you've obviously said you pulled a lot when you was a kid. Just how has things changed now versus when you were a kid?
Man, I think the biggest thing is just the, I come in kind of probably, at the end of the era where we took the, I think Mike mentioned it last week.
Yeah.
Hate to keep mentioning Mike's, but he hit the nail on the head with a lot of things. But you change the tires, take the mowing deck off, turn it up a little bit, and go. And then a couple days later, you're mowing the yard. I mean, my dad had a cub that we mowed the yard with, and so I knew about it. And just those things. Whereas now they're trailer queens and they're painted fancy, and back then it was. Going to get jet fuel was a big deal, or airplane gas was a big deal for it. Now, we're talking $1,000 paint jobs, and it's a big deal. And man, all the parts that are out there and the technology and stuff like that. It's unfortunately, it's priced some people out of the game.
But it's still a relatively affordable sport to get into it.
And they're pretty reliable.
Yeah.
I mean, once they're done correctly, you don't really have to worry about them too much. We've all been through breaks and things, and come to find out, it was an issue that had we caught it the first time, we would have never broke those parts. But that's the biggest thing, I think, is just seeing that it's these tractors are dedicated pullers now versus
you're mowing the yard with
they
them.
were workhorses then, and it was just kind of something to do.
What's some advice that you'd give to beginners, young, old, all walks of life, ages?
Man, I think the biggest thing is just patience. Everybody comes in it with a different attitude, a different budget. We've literally got guys that have the bare minimum in their tractor, and they don't care how they place. They just want to be there. They just want to drive their tractor.
It, yeah.
They don't care if they pull 50 foot or 500. And then we got guys that are there to win. And I respect both sides. You know, I get it. The best advice I would give is if you were trying to get into it is, I'd say buy a tractor that was somewhat local to you, so that you knew it fit the rules. There was people you could call and talk to and ask about the tractor. And then buy yourself the best tractor you can within your budget and then improve on it, make it your own. You know, if it's painting it, changing the name, tires, motor, whatever it is you got to do it. And ask a lot of questions. You know, pullers are going to help each other out.
Yes, I think that's something I've very much noticed is there's guys they're going to help you beat them. And then they're going to come back and beat you.
Yeah, I've literally helped guys beat me, and I've had guys help me, and I've beat them. I mean, people have gave each other parts, and
but no one's mad about it.
And nobody's mad about it, man.
They'll still be like, "Wow, good pull,"
because they would do that for you.
Yes.
On the flip side of that, if a guy ever tells you, man, I'm not going to tell you that, don't get mad about it because there's a lot of research and time that goes into these things and
a lot of money spent just for trial and error.
Yeah. And that's knowledge you've gained and it's gave you an edge and you got to protect that a little bit, you know? So I don't ever get offended if I ask somebody and they say, man, I'm not going to tell you that part, but I'll tell you everything else.
Well, and that's where I've been, you know, when we got started, I wasn't necessarily seeking out people's recipes, but I just wanted to know if I was in the ballpark, you know, so I didn't waste a bunch of money on silly stuff. Just like, am I on the right track?
Yeah.
And people are always willing to help you out with that.
Yeah, sure they are. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, my biggest competitors that I have in the classes that I run, I mean, there's really not many secrets between us. We all pretty much run the same stuff. And
that's the way I feel is I want to beat, like, I want to beat you or Mike or whoever because I know you're good. And then if I beat you, I'm going to tell you what I did so you can beat me again.
Yeah, I mean,
so that I can trade it back and forth.
Dude, I'm going to tell you Saturday, you know, I wanted her to do well and I asked one of my big competitors, I'm like, what gear do you run, bro? Because I know what gears he has, and he knows what gears I have.
Yep.
And he said, well, what are you thinking? And I told him, he goes, yeah, you're on the money.
Oh, I did the same thing. I told people what my first hook, I was in too high a gear. I told a couple people, you know, I was running this. I think it was too high, and they dropped down and did better than me.
And that's another answer to your question is, you know, keep at least a memory bank of that stuff. Don't just show up and pull and go home. But remember where you go. Every track and every sled's different.
Yep.
And you know, remember those things and learn from them and grow from them. And before too long, you'll get it figured out. I mean, you can look around a track and look at 10 different tractors, and their weight setups are different.
Oh, absolutely. If you look at the front,
you got a guy's got 150 on the front. You got a guy's got nothing on the front.
Yep.
And
you and
I've seen it go both ways.
Yep.
I've been wrong, and
but
I've
also
been
everybody
really right.
is different.
Yeah.
Like,
your allis and my allis is really light on the front, so we got a lot of weight hanging out there. Whereas a Cub Cadet with a friggin' 40-pound cast grill is going to be way different.
Absolutely, yeah. So sometimes I'm running 100 pounds, and you need, you know, somebody else would really need to be running 60.
Yep.
But that's the thing is, you know, pay attention. Figure those things out and learn from it, but really learn from your own setup and and just try to keep improving and that's my biggest advice.
Stacy, do you have any advice since you're a seasoned veteran?
Oh yeah, since you're a champion,
Yeah.
It's all about the driving. No, just kidding. It's all about the base. No.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit it is.
Well, movable weight, I think.
Yeah.
Movable weight.
Yeah. No, as a seasoned veteran, no, I cannot give any better advice than what Korey just said.
So we ask about plans and goals for next year with the club. What kind of plans and goals do you have next year as far as you guys' pulling program and things, you know, amongst yourselves?
Yeah. So, I've got my little green 12-horse tractor for sale. It's a pretty competitive tractor, and I'm hoping it lands in the hands of a local kid that, you know, they'll do well with. Her and I don't have much interest in running that particular class anymore. But I've got some little kids that drive it for me, and I enjoy that. But I kind of want to sell it and invest it in the other tractors and try to make them the best they can be. Obviously she's keeping Miss Smith now, and she's getting a new motor. I'm going to swap motors in my Allis as well, but just kind of.
Oh, nothing like getting them figured out here at the end of the year and blowing them all apart,
yeah,
right?
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And then, my V-twin, I've struggled with it all year. Got a good motor and I got a good transmission, but I've struggled with that tractor a lot, and I'm going to move it over to a different frame setup, and her and I are going to build one together.
Good.
Good.
From our...
A tandem one?
Yeah, we've got an idea. We've got an idea we've been thinking about jumping around, and without just completely tearing down the whole fleet, I think we're going to make... It's going to look like she wants and runs like I want, and then hopefully I'm going to get her on it, and she's going to run that one too. So,
Well,
See, I like making them pretty.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that's my favorite
That's
part.
the
of building
fun part.
I just
Like-
love building them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Me too.
I like seeing what ideas.
Yeah, I got
people
tons
put
of
to
ideas for
them,
tractors, so if
and-
anyone needs
And that's
them.
the cool part about these tractors. I mean, there's guys that drag them out of the weeds and they pull them and they're happy doing it, and there's guys that spend,
I love
a
pretty.
ton
I
of
think
money
that's why
on
I like
them,
NQS, because all the tractors
Yeah.
were pretty.
Look nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool is just seeing people's personalities in them,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
and stuff
absolutely.
Like that. And I really enjoy seeing the names and the
Yeah,
Mhm.
the
colors
names.
and the personalities and
Yeah.
things like that.
So obviously you pull multiple classes, your twin class and your 16 class mainly. So who's that feel best to beat in each class? I think we kind of know this, but
Well, V twins. I've only beat him once. That's Mickey, and Mickey's a good friend, and I respect him a lot. And we have a really good rivalry, and we love to see each other succeed. We trash talk each other a lot, but
well, you beat him on the podcast, just so we know. You were here first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
At least I beat him at something.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
See, when my buddy Matt Condor used to pull,
Mhm.
I used to call when I got beat, I'd call it getting condored. But I've been getting browned a lot this year, so yeah.
Just saying, I got Mickey. Don't
Yeah, I got
know.
Mickey. I mean, whatever. But yeah, no, man. He's the one I'm gunning for
Yes.
because I know he's the best around.
And it's out of respect.
Anytime I can be within a couple feet of him, I feel like I had a good day.
Absolutely.
With the 16 horses, obviously Mike Haswinkle and Randy are good. Man, Clayton's tractor strong.
Yes,
Your
it is.
tractor's strong. Brian Udy's new tractor strong.
It
man.
is.
We have
And
that
he's kind of a
class grew-
silent underdog.
Oh, man,
too. He'll
you
come
know,
out of nowhere and whoop you.
And that class grew from like 4 or 5 tractors to almost 20. The
We
other
were
day,
just
and,
talking about that.
the other day was one of the most competitive days, and so there's a lot of good guys running that class. But I mean, obviously, I like to beat Mike and Randy,
Oh, absolutely.
just because of the belt rivalry.
Mhm.
But I guess the answer to that is my new one's going to be beating Stacy
Yeah.
Oh.
because I'm going to be running against her next year. So
Yeah.
And then you jump down to the 12s. I'm still
Our
running
couch
that.
is
and
pretty comfy.
yeah. You jump down to the 12 horse class. I mean, yeah, my teammate Darren Hill. I mean, he's one of the best around with the 12s. He's really got them dialed in and figured out. And
He does.
any day I can beat him or be, in the top 3 with him. Like I said, we just like to see our tractors win as a
Yep.
team. And man, our goal when we pull together is to take the top 3 with our 3 tractors, and we've done that a few times this year, and it felt good. But yeah, I like to beat him and rub it in a little bit.
Stacy, who's your favorite person to beat?
Korey. Well, I don't know because I haven't really pulled against anybody, and like I said, since I already beat Mike and Randy,
That's all you need,
that's
right?
all I
That's really-
need, right? That's
Yeah,
what I
put it on your head.
Retire and keep the belt and be like, hey, I am all-time champ
Oh,
forever.
What hobbies do you guys like doing outside of pulling?
Boating, swimming.
Yeah, I was like, always.
Yeah,
You're always on the
we're
boat.
Always on the boat.
Yeah,
always
we
in the lake.
stay on the lake. I mean, we live on the lake, so we stay on the lake.
Live music.
Rich folk.
Yeah, we go whatever. So the kids are older, and we have a lot more. We got married young and in the military and lived places, and we didn't get to do a lot early in our relationship. So we get to go out and have a lot of fun now that we didn't get to have earlier. So, man, we're real into the local live music, local songwriters, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're real big into independent artists, not mainstream stuff. I mean, well, I like everything, but so yeah, we like to go to concerts and live music together. We hit the wineries a little bit. Man, there's just like a lot of things going on in the area, you know.
Just having a good time.
Yeah, just having a good time in general.
Yeah.
I
will say that about you guys. You guys
Mm-hmm.
are consistently having a good time.
Yeah,
Like,
we love hanging out with you.
Yeah. I like model airplanes. I like to build model.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know, little
I like model
World War
cars.
II airplanes. I like to do that. So
puzzles.
yeah, in the winter when it's cold,
Oh, I
we like
love
to put puzzles together.
Yeah.
I don't.
But man, yeah, outside of that, I don't have a lot of hobbies, but don't have a lot of time either. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, these tractors take up a lot of.
That's
it,
right.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys have any questions for me and Sam? It's your turn.
Yeah, I got one for Dylan. So, you know, like you mentioned before, you didn't know a whole lot about the garden tractor stuff, and we kind of got into it when we first met, and I came to you with a couple. I needed you to do some work for me, and you were like, "Hey, man, explain this," and we got to talking, and you have successfully grown your business into what I consider one of the major names in parts and stuff. You know, I mean, it's crazy how much it's taken off. I mean, and in a relatively short time. I mean, and you know, I enjoy the Liberty trip we're fixing to take. That's kind of a, you know, we did this second year we're doing that, and just meeting the pullers and selling the parts, and I see your passion from it, and not knocking any other manufacturer's parts or anything, but I know your drive is always, what can I do better, or what can I do? And I know one of your drives is to make it affordable for people to get into. And I know you love driving, and I know you love building them and things like that, but what's your favorite part about it?
Really, my favorite part about pulling is I love going to the track, and like I said earlier, I like seeing how happy Huey is and the different things he picks up. I like seeing how happy Sam is when she does good. But as far as like the part side of things, I just really like designing and coming up with new stuff or improving on old designs. I've really enjoyed the people that I've been working with doing different things. The pulling world is a lot different than anything else I've been involved in. People seem to be more helpful with each other rather than trying to undercut or cut each other's throats.
Yeah.
So, like, if you've got a design, you can talk to 3 other guys that are doing similar things, and you can fine-tune that design and have a pretty badass part at the end of the day.
Sure. And I know that's something that's recently kind of came up. You know, we all know all the big names and everything, and we talk, but you know, we go to these things like Liberty. I mean, they send you business and you send them business.
Yes.
You guys want to see each other succeed, and I think that's cool. Seeing it from your perspective, from being a little bit involved in it.
Yep, I really enjoy the problem solving and just measuring out parts and coming up with something that's going to work. I also really like that I've had people come to me and they like that I offer something for, you know, people that are just starting. And that was one of my goals, is people just starting could do stuff, or people that's been doing it forever that's looking for a good quality part, you know, can get something from me. I try to appeal to everybody. But yeah, you've mentioned Liberty a couple times. I'll touch on that. We're going to Liberty this next weekend. Come see us. We'll be vending. Korey will be there helping me. Just come say hi. Any other questions for us?
Stacy had one for Sam.
Sam, are you going to get a 16 horse so you can run with me?
I am.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, you can be in on the belt.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's Korey's old motor.
Oh, is it? Okay. I didn't know that, but all right. I got one for Sam, though. So, Sam, you didn't grow up around here, right?
I grew up, I mean, I went to high school in Carbondale.
Okay.
But, like, I've lived a lot of places.
Okay, yeah, sure, been in the military and things like that, too. But
I was an Army brat as a kid.
Was was this something you knew about when you were a kid, or was it something you got into because of Dylan?
I knew nothing about tractor pulling. And I think on the first episode I talked about it. The only tractor pulling I had reference of is the helicopter I worked on.
Sure.
In the Marines.
Yeah.
Yeah. My gunny would go up on weekends in California and repair those engines because they were pulling tractors with them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was the only tractor pulling.
motor,
Yeah, only tractor pulling I ever. And then I never thought about it again.
Wow.
I got you.
You know, and then it started happening again, and he took me to a garden tractor pulling. He's like, he just kept talking about how I really want to build one of those. I really want to build
We're
one.
going to
of
get
those.
you one, yeah.
So I was just like, well, he's like, but I don't want to run it. I don't want to run it. And I was like, well, if you build it, I'll run it. Like, I don't care. Well,
sure.
Yeah, you know.
Well, and that goes back to what we talked about earlier. Is like I enjoy building them and watching her run them.
Yeah.
You know, I have my own, but I have way more fun watching her Huey pull.
I do too, man.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else for us?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think I do.
Do you guys have any thank yous?
Yeah, man, the biggest thing is just all the sponsors for the 618 Club. Man, they have been incredible. You know, fortunately, being from here, I know most all of them, and I don't mean to single any of them out, but Just Automotive has been huge for us, man, giving us shop space and parts and a account there and things. And you know, Jeff ain't really got a dog in the fight other than seeing it come back locally. And he has been absolutely wonderful for us. But all the sponsors, I mean, all the local businesses, I hope everybody supports them, spends their money there if they can. And, you know, that's the biggest thing. The board members, everybody's been great. We've been getting this going. Just the random people that pop in to help out, you know, Sam, Kyler, you guys mean a lot to Stacy helping out. Mike and Jen Perry, you know, Stubborn Mule, we work with them very well. We bring them in for a lot of our events so we don't have to haul our sled. They're an absolute pleasure to work with. You know, those people, the city of Olin for being supportive of us in the track and that being looks like it's going to be a long-standing partnership. And, you know, they want it there. People come there. People are learning the name of the city just because of the track. You know, man, and just really anybody that's just stepped up and helped. And that's my biggest thank yous. And then, you know, personal shout out Daryl Bracken, man. I couldn't do it without that dude. He's my backbone when it comes to getting things done, man. That dude works harder than anybody I've ever seen work in my life. And, love him or hate him. He's a good dude, you know. And he's really done a lot, man. He's spent a lot of hours on that sled and that track and volunteers a lot of his personal, equipment, things like that. So, he's really made it happen, but, he's also moved it in a direction we don't have to rely on that as much, you know, too. So, man, just, you know, all those people, and I'm sorry if I missed you, but, you know,
There's just a lot of people.
There's a lot of people, there's a lot of moving parts to this stuff. And, you know, it's something I don't think a lot of people really understand is how much work, time, money, effort goes into it, you know, to just show up and have a good time, which we're glad everybody does, but there's a lot to it. And, like I said, I can't think of everybody, but man, I mean, everybody that's helped me out in some way getting this going, I really, really appreciate it.
And thank you to you guys for having us on there and explaining everything. And
well, that's kind of what we've tried to do with this is we want different perspectives from everywhere. You know, sometimes it may seem like maybe I'm being a little negative with some of my questions, but it's not intended to be that way. I just want to see different perspectives from everybody. And, you know, I think obviously we've run quite a while on this one compared to others, but I think we cleared up a lot of stuff that's been some questions throughout the year.
Yeah.
But I still think we'll probably have to have at least Korey back for another episode because some people are requesting like just a simple explanation of tractor pulling, like the nitty gritty of what it actually is, not like the outside stuff, which we didn't even get a chance to touch on, and we're going on almost
a lot.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that. So.
Stacy, you got anybody you want to thank?
like Korey said, definitely Sam, Kyler, Jen, because they're the ones that help me the most when, for me being at the announcer center, not being able to get up, just getting me something to eat or taking over if, I need to use the restroom or get up and stretch my legs, helping with money. I mean, cause
she's keeping track of the distance.
Mhm.
And
Oh, I know.
and the payout. She's
I think I
doing
say it
all
on
of
every episode. I was like, God, thank God for Stacy.
so, but, and of course our sponsors, but, cause we wouldn't be here without them, but I wouldn't be able to function as good if it wasn't for the help I get up there.
All right.
So,
I ask everybody, do you guys got somebody you'd like to suggest or call out for a guest on the podcast?
Man, let me think on it for a minute. You got anybody?
Mickey Brown.
Maybe. You know what? I'd like to see Steve Urban get on here.
Steve Urban.
I'd like to see Steve.
We could probably make that happen.
I met Steve, man, when I first got back into this, I bought a motor block off of him, and my dad rode out there with me. It's like a 2.5 hour ride to his house, and showed up. I had the money in my hand. I walked in. It was exactly what I wanted, and I handed the man the money, and 2 hours later, I left the shop.
Yeah.
And we were friends.
Yeah.
And, Steve's a big kid at heart.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
He's a good guy, and he really supports us. He's at every pool, and I like Steve, and I think he's got a world of knowledge to share. Yeah.
Both of those guys, I think, would be really good.
Yeah.
They're just big kids, and Mickey keeps saying he won't do it, but I bet we could twist his arm enough.
We probably twist him a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just tie him to a chair. There you go.
You will talk to me.
Yeah.
That's right.
But, all right, well, I guess we're going to wrap this one up.
Mm-hmm.